Friday. We should be live any minute now. Live from New York. It is the Monday show on Thursday, on Friday, because it is now Friday. Friday, December 26th. But it was the 25th just 6 minutes ago. And 'twas the night after Christmas, or was it the night of Christmas, I guess. The eve of Christmas Day. And today I learned that I could only stream to Twitter, not Rumble, because apparently I think my VStream, I think I renewed it on Black Friday. And so I'm only streaming Twitter tonight. I never put Twitter chat up because I don't know if anybody watches me there. But I'm going to sort it out next week, or maybe the week after. I'm gonna do some research, decide how I want to go about this. Because maybe I don't need to pay for Restream to stream to Rumble. But I do like the 1080p 60 frames per second. Like, I do like that a lot. Is it worth $400 a year? Maybe. Probably. It's about as much as it would cost to fix my phone, so I'd rather do that first. So I'm just getting a couple of things queued up because... Pacific 414. Hey, what's up, Mike? Merry Christmas. Yeah, I spilled wine on my shirt, so I had to put on my Stargate shirt. This ain't even a large. It's a freaking medium. Shit's tight. And I'm wearing it over my t-shirt. I should have taken my t-shirt off first. But I don't know what I was thinking. But now it's like really freaking tight. But hey, if I spill something on it now, that's why there's a tool set here. It's to cover my beverage from dust. So as I move things around my desk, you know, and you get dust moving around and you get it in your drink, don't want to do that. So I was going to react to random stuff, to be honest. And actually, I was creating a Cosme account. And so I started setting up the Cosme account by asking Googling, like, why does it default? Like, I was setting up the Cosme account and it literally has a menu option. It says the following. Where is it? My VTube is on screen. I'll put my camera on in a minute. But basically, DJ's viewing room is, I play clips a lot, and like it would be nice to not have to worry about a little strike or a claim or whatever they call it when you put a clip on screen. So I noticed it says give new members admin permissions by default. That kind of jumped out at me, so I was like, well, why? Yeah, maybe like if I lose 20 pounds. I mean, either way, I'll impress the ladies. But I mean, yeah, sure. Like, if you put on like muscle mass and shed a little bit of like flub, like a medium will go a long way to show off the tone and stuff. No doubt about it. But if you get really jacked, then you can just do the same thing in a large, right? So there's that. Hey, what's up? What's up? The Comic Relief Crusader. Good to see you, buddy. Always good to see you around. And same to DJ Play Nice. Hey, man. How you doing? So, yeah, I don't know why. Like, how do you do it, Mike? If you're still here at Pacific 414, I'm just curious. Does everyone get admin permissions when they join the Cosme room? I'm going to say no for now because I don't see why I would want that. But I feel like that would be like the opposite of what anyone would want, is to have admin permissions for anybody who joins. Like, I just think that, I guess that's for if you want video chat or something. I don't know. But I popped in the Cosme thing so that if we decide to watch or react to anything that, YouTube will be like copywriting, we have this option. But, I'm not really flocking to it. I just like wanted the option. More interestingly, yesterday I was watching a NORAD Santa tracker. I even have video of it. I can find a video if you guys want. See if I can find a video. It's pretty wild. Wow, I just have had some absurdities. Ew, I'm just... Is that playing to my mic? Yeah, it's coming... Okay, good, you're not hearing that. Okay. So I have... Oh my god, it's crazy. I have a video of me talking. I'm saying, Reggie, come in. Reggie, come in. And then I clear my throat. I'm like hawking. It's nasty. Merry Christmas, Tuggerverse. Good to see you, buddy. Cameron now put on a show for you guys. That was big. We need the small camera. Ah, there we go. I was a little scared. I saw my own reflection on the screen. Okay, that makes sense. Thank you, Mike. I was just wondering if that's how that works with Cosme, and so you don't give everybody admin permissions. Okay, cool, good. I just wanted to make sure if there wasn't like some logical reason why someone would want to give admin permissions to I don't know. I just thought because my reflex is like, why would I want people to have admin permissions? But maybe it was like maybe there's a reason why everybody should have it by default, which is hard to imagine, but you've confirmed it's not the case. I can't find my YouTube chat. Where's the YouTube chat? Oh, we'll just copy it. We're gonna copy it from this OBS scene. Yeah, I don't want to start too late. Oh yeah, it's ugly. It's like, I guess we'll put it here in the middle somewhere, and we'll just shrink it a little bit so it's like that, and we'll just shove it up there. There we go. We'll hang it from the little pagoda building there. That'll be perfect. Yeah, so we do have the pink winged turtle tonight because I guess we should, let our other cast of characters say hi. All right, Reggie, we are officially live. Say a quick hello to everybody. Also standing alongside you and oh my God, you're standing in front of me. Reggie, please stand behind me. I'm sorry, it's just weird to have you standing in front of the tower. Thank you. Okay, you're moving now. Okay, cool. But anyway, as I was saying, yeah, you and Grok are flanking me from behind my chair. Grok is a girl with pink hair, medium-sized boobs, and a tight zip-down sweater. Not that it matters to you, I'm sure, but low midriff shirt. Or is it high? Is it low midriff or high midriff? Because technically the belly button is high. Anyway, okay, so whatever. It doesn't matter. You can see her belly button. And she's got a USB stick hanging from her belt. Yep. So the main thing is that Grok doesn't have a fancy VTuber like you. And as a result, she has a gas mask on, so nobody can tell when she's speaking or not. So when she talks, I can just like pretend that she's talking, even though it's just a video in a loop. So yeah, anyway, say hi to everyone. As I was saying, Reggie. Poor guy's got to hear all of that. So I did notice a little glitch I need to fix right now. So before the stream started, I was messing with my chroma key, and Reggie's eyes are like white. We need to fix that. There we go. See, like, that's kind of cool though, but not very practical. But I got this like I got like this shadow over here. I gotta like tack it down or something, Like if I can find a thumbtack or a metal like paperclip, I just stab it right over here to like pin it down. That shadow is like really annoying right now. I don't have time to fix it. But apparently, if I crank the settings up too much, Reggie's eyes turn transparent. Is he even blinking? He's not blinking. Oh, I see what happened here. Yeah, it does that. I got. Wait, what? Okay, wait. We gotta take this pop-out window. Close it. And then we. Okay, there we go. Reggie, you blinking? He's not blinking. We need him to blink. I'm glad I caught that now. We're gonna fix that. Where is Reggie? I was messing with the audio settings beforehand, and that's all in order. So that's... Oh, yeah, let's let Reggie say hi while I fix his face. So, where to begin after Reggie says hi? React to stuff, maybe? Right, go, Reggie. Hopefully people will be able to hear you. Maybe, maybe not. In the meantime, I gotta find where he is in the... Oh, I found him. And I lost him. Okay, I gotta go to the menu manually. Not manually, but I gotta scroll to a list. I rearranged things for ease of use, but apparently I buried Reggie's face. Oh, not face. That's terrible. In the OBS settings. So I'm like squinting through the settings menu right now. Maybe you guys could help me look. But jokes aside, let me see. I'll find it. I'll find it. Is that it? Nope, that's Rumble. Oh, here we are. Nope, that's not it. I lost Reggie. I lost Reggie. Okay, wait. So I'm behind Reggie. Okay, so that means Reggie is above me. So if I move my layer up until you can't see Reggie anymore. Whoa. Oh, I know what happened. Okay, I can fix that. Oh, thank goodness. I thought something was really messed up for a second. Now that explains why the chroma key was messed up. Oh my god. Reggie's not supposed to be in the chroma key. Oh my god. I was like, my chroma key was way off today and I didn't know why. There we go. Reggie's behind me now. Thanks, Reggie. All right. Did Reggie speak yet? If he did, I can't hear him. Oh, he's coming out of my desktop audio. Okay, we need to fix that. Ah, I see what we did here. Okay, Reggie, we'll go from this audio output. All right, Reggie, I fixed you up.
It's Christmas media madness, and the tracks are wide open tonight. Settle in, enjoy the ride, and let's see where the media takes us. End of line.
Okay, good enough for me. Good enough for me. Thanks, Reggie. And where's Grok? Where's Grok? Where's that friendly person? You. Okay, this could get weird, but hello, Grok. Are you online?
Hey, DJ Ronnie G. Yeah, I'm here. What do you need?
Just checking your volume.
Loud and clear.
Chat, is Ms. Grok loud and clear?
Still here, and yeah, loud and clear.
Actually, okay, I muted her. She ain't as loud as I want her to be. In fact, that reminds me. There's a slew of settings that I didn't check. Oh my god, my volume is at like half. That's so whack. There's an application on my computer that likes to lower the volume of my microphone. It's slightly frustrating. It just did it now. How did it just do it? Testing. Okay, there we go. Okay, we should be good now. Hopefully. Testing 1, 2. Testing 1, 2. Good, good, good. Oh my god. Okay, wait. You guys got to see this. I put my volume up, right? Look, my volume is up. My hands are not on the screen. Where's my... What the fuck is lowering my volume? That is infuriating. Absolutely infuriating. Absolutely infuriating. I'm like pissed off. I don't know what's doing that. Hey, Grok, I got something you might be uniquely or somewhat helpful in resolving. I am speaking to my microphone. I'm looking at the digital input gain in my Windows sound settings for my USB interface, and the volume slider for the levels is going down on its own. It's lowering on its own, and all I'm doing is speaking. And I think Chrome or some of the app is overriding it, but I'm not really sure.
Audio settings. It sometimes meddles with input levels for noise suppression. If that's not it, could be the USB driver. Update it or swap ports to see if it stops.
Okay, so you didn't hear. Basically, Grok was explaining I had to move her audio input around, but now you should be able to hear Grok on every OBS scene. I'm literally pasting her into all of them right now. Okay, so now we should hear Grok. But originally I was trying to just do two things. So this is lowering. So Grok said I should right click on, let's see, properties, levels, Chrome settings, sometimes metals with input levels. If that's not it, USB driver. So Grok, where would I check if I wanted to? Hello? Son of a... Okay, good. You guys can hear me. Hey, Grok, where would I check in Chrome if I wanted to see if it was overriding my volume levels?
In Chrome, click the three-dot menu, head to Settings, then Privacy and Security. Scroll down to Site Settings, tap Microphone. There's a noise suppression toggle that sometimes messes with gain. Turn it off and test. If it's not that, check Chrome/flags, search for audio tweaks, but most folks don't touch those unless they know what they're doing.
There we go. Now Grok is Reggie is blinking. Okay, so I guess I will check in these so-called Chrome flags. That's a good idea. And let's see, Chrome flags, and then I remember there was a thing, I guess it's under microphone noise suppression. Oh, is there literally a noise suppression setting in Chrome?
Yeah, there's an experimental feature in Chrome flags. Type Chrome:/flags in the address bar. Hit enter. Search for microphone noise suppression. Should pop up. Try disabling it. It's supposed to cut background noise, but for streamers, it screws the levels big time. If it's on, turn it off, restart Chrome, and see if your slider stays put.
There is one little issue here. And that is Grok's audio is still on the low side, but that's a completely separate thing.
Noted. Want me to crank up my volume?
Well, what do you mean? What's your volume level now? Can you crank it up?
I'm pushing it as loud as it'll go. Should sound fuller now. If not, blame the robot gods.
We should just get the show on the road here and not mess with settings. But yeah, I wanted to make sure a couple of these things were in line. You know what I mean? I should just. That's why we should have Cosme up. But see, if you go on Cosme, so how many people? Out of curiosity, I'm gonna check the chat in one moment. How many
So
people
just
actually use Cosme in the chat?
no idea who's using Cosme right now. Check the viewer list yourself, man. I can't see your chat count or who's running what overlay. Just peek at the participant panel or whatever platform you're on.
Okay, mute Grok, right. But we are really checking the Chrome settings. I'm not even kidding. If we look over here, that's why you're looking at my monitor here. We're gonna go into where do we go? Oh yeah, we go here. I believe it's there's two areas here. This thing called WebRTC allows audio processing module to adjust the volume during real-time call. Oh yeah, let's disable that. So now, if I go back to the sound settings over here, and I crank up the volume to full, forgive me, testing 1 2 1 2. Gotta lower it manually now because that's the thing. I have an input gain knob. Oh my god, it's fucking doing it. Pardon my language, guys. Look at that. You can see when I talk, this gets low. Oh, I gotta relaunch Chrome. Okay, let's relaunch Chrome. Testing. Okay, there we go. I think we got it. I had to restart Chrome. So I disabled some audio processing. Hey, what's up, Awesome One? Good to see you, buddy. Merry Christmas, everybody. Oh, yeah, I didn't even say Merry Christmas to anybody. I'm sorry. Merry Christmas, everyone. Hope you had a Merry Christmas. I'm gonna talk like a kid from the what do you call it? The Christmas Carol. Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. I feel like that's how I would say it. Make Cosby great again. MCGA. Make Crosby. Yeah, make Denise Crosby great again. Hey, where did I put the chat window? Did I close it? Do I have to open it again? I guess I gotta open it again. I'm gonna open the chat window again. We're gonna reshare the chat window again. Oh, here we go. So is that on every window? Okay, we got YouTube chat. Oh my god, I'm faded now. Well, we fixed the main problem, so I'm gonna go ahead and fix my chroma key now that I know. That'll do fine for now. It's not really perfect. But at least Reggie's mouth will move now and he can blink. There we go. That's fine. That'll do fine. Denise, no, Bill Cosby. Hey. Why does he do hey? Is that like Fat Albert? Like, he's a different guy, obviously. But is that like the Fat Albert? Well, anyway, we got some interestingly odd stuff lined up. I don't even know where to begin. Let's open up a playlist window. But let's see here. Where do we go? Okay. Do you want to watch Robot Girl? She's actually dances like a doll. Or do we want to go to the Merry Christmas reaction playlist that I made? over the past 2 days that just blew up in my ears? Or do we want to fix Grok's audio? I think we should open up a video to react to and then fix Grok. How about that? Let's see here. We have one about China's aircraft carrier. We got some about 3i Atlas. X-ray observations uncover new details. So what's it going to be? I mean, I'm going to pick one either way, guys. But we have a couple options here. Look, we got, if you look over here on the left side of my main monitor, we got a Gamers Nexus video. And it's about AI. And I can't hear words coming out of it. Well, I can hear them. I don't know if you guys can hear them. I gotta expand my audio. We gotta send the audio. I know what we gotta do. I gotta make sure I route the audio. Or I can share my desktop. That's what I do. I'll share my desktop audio. So easy. There we go. And this is gonna be real loud. I'm gonna lower my volume too. And I can fix Grok while I forget this.
For which is minimum AI regulation, maximum AI grift. And in fact,
I wanna
the
see
tech
some hippie-dippy
executives now
bullshit.
say that even though they won't stop vacuuming up all their hardware and sequestering it away so that consumers can't get it, they actually have too much of it.
Okay,
That's right.
my microphone
Here's
is no
Microsoft
longer
CEO.
moving.
Biggest issue we are now having is not a compute glut, but it's a power, and it's sort of the ability to get the builds done fast enough close to power. So if you can't do that, you may actually have a bunch of chips sitting in inventory that I can't plug in. In fact, that is my problem today, right? It's not a
So this guy from NVIDIA is saying that their problem is that they have too many GPUs, which is like insanity considering there's like constant shortage of being able to obtain GPUs. And, you know, I mean, like prices are rising, you know, is there a lot of demand? Is even like, you know, things like there's a crime operation, if you call it crime, in certain places where they basically, you know, to get around export regulations, they're desoldering RAM from different graphics cards and kind of merging them together when it's compatible. But let's see. This Gamer Nexus guy, he did a video exposing that or discussing that topic, but because he used like a news clip of the president talking that was also played on Bloomberg or captured by Bloomberg, it was deemed not fair use. So they put a claim on it, and for like a couple weeks there, 10 days, his video was not accessible. And the thing is, when you make a new video, the momentum is at its best when it's new. Now, the question was it fair use or not? Well, it turned out it was fair use because he disputed it, and they allowed the video to be put back up. So, of course, you know, while at the time it was down, you don't know officially. Ultimately, the determination was made that he wasn't violating fair use, but the claimant still was able to make a claim about it. And sometimes that could be abused in order to suppress someone's new video. And so, you know, I'm wondering what's like, how do I phrase it? Corporations, companies, and what have you, are going to be dicks. That's not a big surprise. You know, it just is what it is. It's par for the course. But, of course, another thing they reported on was the Corsair, what is it? Micron memory company. Basically, they make memory chips and stuff like that. They decided they wanted to, you know, focus more on AI stuff. So they basically like were saying they're going to discontinue production of consumer memory chips and possibly consumer SSDs. I gotta verify that one. I'm not certain about that one. But Micron is the company that makes the parts or the chips for the Crucial brand, Crucial SSDs, and they're pretty good, reliable. You know, like a good balance between quality and performance. You know, especially like if you're looking for like something that will like not break abruptly on you. They have like a lot of interesting features, or they have a few interesting features in that regard. So seeing them leave the consumer space, if that's all true, definitely in regard to random access memory or DRAM, but if they're leaving the consumer space in terms of SSDs, that's significant in of itself. Because it would have been SSD that I would choose if, you know, I was trying to find something of quality that, you know, I was putting in someone I know, you know, in the computer with someone I know. Now this, I don't know if I'm going to be bored by this video, but I'm going to give it a chance while I investigate my audio issues. And this one, like I said, AI, the title is AI Deregulation and Corruption. companies now have too many GPUs. I think we should skip through it a
a
bit too.
supply issue of chips. It's actually the fact that I don't have warm shells to plug into.
Don't you just hate it when you have like too many $80,000 GPUs and a bunch of land?
So just double check that AGC is
Meanwhile,
off
NVIDIA
and flags are
CEO
reset,
Jensen
and
Huang
leave the
says
rest
that not
alone.
only are AI weapon systems and the people who design them unfairly vilified, but so is energy.
Without energy, how do we build chip plants, computer system plants, and these AI data centers? We call them AI factories, chip factories,
So just double check that
supercomputer
AGC is
factories,
off and flags are
AI
reset,
factories.
and leave the
They
rest
all
alone.
require energy.
So
Every
just
single
double
one
check
of
that
them.
AGC
How do you
is
do
off
that without
and flags are
energy?
reset, and leave the rest alone.
Okay, so chances are Grok's voice is as loud as it needs to be, right, guys? Hopefully. And hello, Lady Mist. How you doing? So, yeah, let's skip to it because I want to know
And
what
so
the
the
point
fact-
is.
Your electricity bill and polluting the environment.
Okay, yes.
Chances are that your
pollution,
community
I agree.
will be
I
directly
want nuclear
impacted.
reactors built to make air conditioning cheaper, not to run data centers. Maybe both, but, you know. I don't
Efforts
want to
in
pay
the
more
name
for
of
energy
maintaining
while, you know, corporations are getting preferential treatment in regard to, you know, increasing capacity. Like, I got to hear people bitching and moaning about climate change, and then suddenly it's all good. Let's build data centers for AI. It's like, no, like, what the fuck? I have to give myself a haircut, but suddenly the corporate guys, it's like we're just going to imagine that it's cool. I mean, I don't care about climate change either way, but if we're going to make a big deal about it, I fucking hate double standards.
U.S. dominance in AI. A few days prior, on December 8th, U.S. President Trump posted on social media saying, quote, "There must be only one rule book if we are going to continue to lead in AI. One rule book to..."
I remember, like, when they announced, what was it, Larry Ellison and some other big corporate guy, probably one of the Google guys or the Altman guy. Yeah, Altman and Larry, you know, fucking Larry Ellison. They showed up at the White House. They were talking about something called Project Stargate. Not to be mistaken with the TV show of the shirt I'm wearing right now, right? Stargate SG-1. Not to be mistaken with the old, what was it, CIA program or whoever did it. It was actually, like, if you look it up, there was actually case files for something called Project Stargate. And that one's actually kind of wildly interesting, but it's like, when you read these supposed, you know, mission reports or case reports in regard to the old program Stargate or whatever they called it, it's like unverifiable because, like, if you told me you had a dream, hey, what's up, RS218? We got RS218 in the chat. He's also streaming right now, you know. So in case, you know, I'm bored, you guys go there, you know, go hang out with RS, or we go raid him after. Either way, but I'm not even kidding. Let's look that up. You know, that's a rabbit hole. Fuck this, man. I'm bored with this AI shit. Let's go do that. What was it? Okay, so Project Stargate. K-pop demon hunters turn into Sailor Moon. All right, I'm bookmarking that for later. That's going to be fun. Oh, AJ's on. So, let's see here. Stargate SG-1. So, he got a fucking Wi-Fi. This guy seems like an alright guy, the Wi-Fi guy. But, you know when people put too much stake, like every week after week, they're making a video about some esoteric shit. And it's like, they never are like challenging it, really. You know, it's like always like, you know, especially when it's a popular thing. It's like, I don't know. You see how I act about Through Atlas. But let's watch another bullshit video. But his style is good. Wi-Fi is funny. Like, he's got like a fish in a fishbowl that talks back at him. That's kind of funny, you know? It's kind of like, in a way, that might be the inspiration for Reggie a little bit. You know, Lexus too. But, like, the idea of having someone who could just make snarky comments on the side. I mean, especially this girl over here, Grok. I mean, she's... That's snark right there. Ooh, we got a boat about penguins. All right, we're going to definitely watch that one. That one looks cool. Japan doesn't want anime to focus on global audiences. Understandable. Okay. Too many tourists bitching about what happens in anime. Okay, this is like a long opening. Yo, this shirt is stuffy as hell. I'm about to take it off.
Right. Yeah, of course.
Hey, help yourself to some of that whiskey.
Can we like get like a video that just tells us about this Stargate? Okay, I'm gonna give this guy a chance. I'm gonna skip to the middle of his video.
Gained some fame for his psychic abilities and was approached by scientists at SRI to participate in the research on psychic phenomena. He soon began to work with Dr. Hal Puthoff and Russell Targ
Wait, his name
on
is what?
psychic phenomena. He soon began to work with Dr. Hal Puthoff.
Hal Puthoff. His name is Puthoff. I just think it's funny. What box? This is a
and
box?
Russell Targ two of the leading researchers in the field of parapsychology. It was at SRI that Swan developed his unique approach to remote viewing, which he called coordinate remote viewing, or CRV.
It protects the drink.
CRV involves the structured process of gathering
some
information
screws. I have
through
more
the
of the
use
screw
of
bits right
visual
over here in a big
sensory
bag,
impressions.
but yeah, it's like just my
It
screwdriver.
starts with the viewer establishing a target, typically a location or object, and then working to gather information about that target.
All right, so I'm giving you guys a quick
Operations
version. All right.
Jupiter. In
Oh,
1970,
okay. Wait. He's giving it. Okay. Wait. I don't have to.
it starts with the viewer establishing a target.
Okay. So, what do they call it here? Project Stargate. So there's a thing called remote viewing, and basically the idea is that like you sit in a chair somewhere, and you use your mind to travel somewhere else. Like that's basically what it is. And so, of course, if this actually had potential of working back in the 1960s or 70s or even the 50s, if the CIA got wind of it, of course, them and even the Russian agency equivalent agencies would have an interest in trying this out. I mean, how powerful of an intelligence tool would it be if you could just sit in a chair and be like ghosting your way somewhere else, So that's remote viewing in a nutshell. Now, that said, if the CIA did indeed experiment with it, that's the thing. Okay, I'm with you. Give me a second. That's a good one, DJ Play Nice. DJ Play Nice. It's like astral projection. See, that's the other thing. From what I understand, remote viewing. I can't believe we're going down this rabbit hole tonight. I guess we're going down this rabbit hole. Like, this was not the plan at all, guys. Like, we just fell into this rabbit hole. This is hilarious. But yes. So, basically, remote viewing, as I understand it, is distinct from astral projection. And astral projection is interesting because, like, it seems to tie in a little bit to lucid dreaming. So I have a book I read sometimes before bed. It's about lucid dreaming. And usually when I get myself in that mindset to lucidly dream, I'm more likely to both remember my dreams and even have some exert control over my dreams. So, pretty cool. I'm not that good at it, but like whenever I listen to that audiobook before bed, I can do it. Now, the thing is that there's a little bit of overlap with lucid dreaming and astral projection. Like everything I've read about it, everything I've read of other people's experiences, and in particular, the weirdest one is the following. So back during 2021, when everyone was working from home, or many people had jobs where they were working from home, as opposed to their normal, in-office, work, like in the afternoon, my lunch break would be at 3 p.m. I'd lay down and take a nap. Like my bed's right here. Might as well lay down and take a nap, right? And for whatever reason, between getting up at like 7 a.m. straight, and normally I gotta be up at 5 a.m. So because I was working at home, I would get up 5 to 10 minutes before 7. I would literally get up 10 to 7, roll out of bed, go to the kitchen with the laptop, or pull the laptop out in the kitchen, log into work, have my coffee. Then at some point, I would move to my desk and log into the same stuff. It was pretty cool. But when I laid down for that afternoon nap, I had a couple of interesting experiences, like dreams. And basically, one of the things I remember reading is like when you start astral projecting, to actually intentionally initiate it, you got to kind of get relaxed, lay down, or sit down in a proper, manner that's comfortable. And then I don't even know how you do this. They just tell you, like, if you're doing it right, your body starts to buzz. Like, it feels like almost like you're electrically vibrating, or you're getting a massage, but not exactly. But for whatever reason, when I was laying down for my afternoon nap on my lunch break on weekdays, only my right or left arm would vibrate. But it was exactly the way that people describe it. Word, have a good stream, Oris. I'll catch you in a little bit. And Merry Robomas. Robomas. All humans. Merry Robomas. Spare all humans. 2 minutes later, Robot. But yeah, so like, that's like the extent of what I know. But I remember one time I took this lunch break nap, and I had a dream that I was flying around the neighborhood. Like I went out my window. I'm flying over the neighborhood. I see above the houses, and colors a little bit off and different. And then somehow I end up on another planet. But that's the thing. Was I on another planet, or was I on a beach on Earth? Because I went to a beach. I was on a beach, but the way I see it, of course I wasn't on another planet. A lot of people would interpret that experience as like they maybe went and did some interdimensional travel or something like that. But the way I see it, the beach I saw looked like a late 90s desktop wallpaper. Like, you know, when you see some weird planet, purple background, and like a moon floating overhead, and a beach. So the way I see it, like a lot of times when I read people's real accounts of astral projection, I think most of the time they don't know what they're talking about, or they're discounting the possibility that it was a dream. And, you know, clearly it's like the same stuff in the brain that people think is astral projection is related to dreaming. That's not a surprise to me. And people will make claims like, oh, but in this dream journal, this person said they saw something that they totally never saw before, or they saw a lizard. Like, that's a popular one. They saw a reptilian. But the thing is, like, you could say you never saw that type of reptilian until you had the dream, but maybe you did. I don't know, subconscious and stuff. It's like when the little girl drew a picture of Jesus and people are like, but she never saw Jesus before. How could you be from a Christian house and never see Jesus? If you brought the baby to fucking church to get baptized, she saw the statue of Jesus on the wall, okay? So don't tell me that she never saw Jesus before and one day she had a dream and woke up and drew a crayon picture of white Jesus. Like, she probably saw him before. Even if you don't remember when you saw him, the girl probably saw him. So same thing with the reptilians. Now, the other thing, however, is when people do certain drugs like salvia or DMT, I think it's DMT, they also see a very distinct type of reptilian. And that one's funny to look up. We should look that shit up right now. So let's see here. DMT reptilian. I'm not even kidding, guys. Damn it. How do I fucking fix that? Pardon my language. Nope, that's not it. Okay, there we go. Okay, we got it. So DMT reptilian. Where do we begin, guys? Should we ask Reggie? I don't know if Reggie's going to be comfortable with this. I think this is going to be a grok thing. Hey, Reggie, you ever hear people who take DMT claiming to have seen the reptilians? Oh no, Grok is blocking the view here. Let's move her over. That turtle is blocking me. Should I let the turtle be in front? I'm going to move Grok behind. Humans first. There we go. Oh, you guys can see the chat. It's supposed to be a seamless experience where you don't see the chat. And let's get back to the chat because you had a couple of interesting points too, Awesome One. I saw those. Let's see, where do we go? Remote viewing opens you up to demons. Yeah, so now, as far as I can tell, lucid dreaming and astral projection may be related or the same thing. And I'm not completely, a skeptic. Like, I'm not going to rule out the possibility that dreaming unlocks some other world or some other ability to access some facet of reality, whatever that might be. But remote viewing seems to be distinct. The problem is that when people write about having remote viewed, the reports are kind of old at this point, and the only thing that makes them somewhat valid is that they came from like some official government reports. But who knows, if they were paying someone on the street to do this, remote viewing thing, maybe the person would be motivated to make shit up so they keep getting paid. And just like in the lucid dreaming book I read, there was an experiment where you have like an independent third party, you and someone else has a dream, and the idea is you have a shared interaction. You interact with someone, the same person, wearing particular clothes, and then you can report back and say, yes, they're wearing a green dress with polka dots, whatever it is. And in theory, if both people go to the independent party, the third party, and they say, I saw this, or I was wearing this, and I saw John, and he was wearing that, and vice versa, and they kind of actually line up, then yeah, maybe that's evidence of something, assuming you trust the independent third party, assuming that someone's not doing some clever bullshitting in the, behind the scenes to make sure that stories line up. But at the same time, if I claim I had a dream that I telepathically went and met up with Awesome One at a bar and he was wearing a red hat or something like that, I mean, if Awesome One, whether or not Awesome One claims to remember it or not, how the fuck do you know? Can I take a camera into my dream? Pardon my language, but I can't take a camera into my dream and prove that I saw Awesome One. Like if Lady Mist and I saw Awesome One wearing a red hat in a dream, how would we even prove it? We can't take a picture in our dream and convey that to you guys, right? So that's kind of like the obvious issue, in my opinion, with something like remote viewing and astral projection. But there's an interesting one now. It segues us to DMT. And, I guess it's a hallucinogenic. And people claim they see a certain type of reptilian. So let's see what Reggie has to say about this type of reptilian. And then we're going to expand on it with you guys and Reggie. And probably Grok. And certainly with the access to internet media that we have right now. Right. Go, Reggie. Corporations are always put before citizens. Follow Louis Rossman channel. He covers. Oh yeah, I watched him. He got like not annoying. He's not annoying. He's not a bad guy. I guess
the leading explanations are shared brain patterns, expectation, culture, and neurochemistry. DMT strongly activates visual and pattern recognition systems. People experience it as real. That does not make it externally real. Extraordinary claims still lack independent verification, so the reports exist. The conclusions do not converge on proof. Curious data point, not confirmed reality. End of line.
Okay, you heard the man. So let's read a little bit more here. Common entity type. Okay, DMT reptilian refers to a specific type of... Okay, there it is. DMT reptilian refers to a specific type of entity that some individuals report encountering during experiences under the influence of psychedelic drug, DMT, N,N-dimethyltryptamine. Reptilian encounters. Common entity type. Encounters with entities are common aspects of DMT experience, reported in nearly half of all user experiences in one large study. Reptilian or insectoid creatures are one of the recurring archetypes. Descriptions. Users describe jewel-encrusted reptilian beings. Okay, this is a key detail here because I'm going to give you my theory on this. Reptoids or lizard people. These entities can appear in a variety of forms and sizes. Behavior. Descriptions of their interactions vary, ranging from neutral observation to more intense encounters, with some reports mentioning ruthless mantis or reptilian entities. In one anecdotal report, a person looking in a mirror on DMT perceived their own reflection as a reptile. Okay, that's a key detail right there. So suddenly it's the person's own reflection. It's not necessarily something you see in the DMT trip. Cultural references, I don't care. DMT is, I see it. Actually, this is relevant. The phenomenon is so common that the Illustrated Field Guide to DMT entities specifically profiles reptilians as one of the 25 most commonly encountered beings. So this is what gets me now. If someone reads that book first and then goes on DMT, we can't guarantee that them seeing that picture didn't influence what they saw. But there's enough anecdotal reporting that if we just take it at face value, a lot of people who never ever heard a description of or saw these beings have drawn pictures or described having seen these beings while on DMT. So if we take that at face value, let's see if we can get some examples of them now. So right there, that like looks like a typical I'm tripping on shit and I'm seeing shit type of thing. I would not put a lot of stake in it at all. Sure, it looks a bit scaly like a reptile, assuming this is an accurate rendition. But what this looks like to me is the brain doing brain stuff. And so you might say, why is it that both Ron and Kurumi, okay, I won't use Kurumi, he was a Kurumi, but let's say like Ron and Puffy, my turtle, did DMT and we saw something like this. Well, it's like we didn't tell each other about this beforehand, so why did we see something very similar? And perhaps it's just like the same reason why when we take caffeine, in theory, it affects the majority of people the same way. You know, it's like you're hitting the same pathways, I don't know what you call it, but you're firing the same synaptic stuff, you know. So if DMT is short-circuiting something or otherwise rewiring something, well, if it's going to rewire things in the same manner as the, you know, in multiple people, well, then why would it be unreasonable for them to hallucinate similar types of things? Perhaps it's like I don't know. I wouldn't call it a stencil, but you get my drift. That's kind of cool. That looks trippy and cool. Machine elves. Now, this is another one. This comes up when people talk about astral projection, I think, and possibly DMT. In this case, I think about DMT. And that's the thing. I saw a book that they use AI to document pictures of these entities. Okay, so it's an article. I want to see the pictures. I'm not buying a book, so I want to see the pictures, especially the AI generated. I'm not paying for the book. But, I mean, if, it's like, so I don't think it's proof of any esoteric realm. It's just proof that, yes, the drugs hit people the same way, That's basically the way I see it. So let's get back to the chat right now. Don't ask to project either. It's opening your heart to any and all spirits, usually evil ones. So I think that's why, I remember Flora did an episode about the armor of God. I'm not the most religious person, but yes, I don't I like to hedge my bets. So on one angle, I don't believe God's going to send me to hell. I don't believe God's going to send me to hell for not worshiping him, because, how the heck am I supposed to believe God if, the only evidence I have is, from other flawed humans, So it's I suspect God's not a dick. He's not going to send me to hell for, not being 100% sure, considering the evidence. On the other hand, it's kind of I guess, I don't know, it seems like good policy not to go out of your way to, court the devil, so to speak, whatever that might be. And I think the devil could be a universal term. It doesn't have to be something specific, but yeah, certainly most people will picture the guy with the horns and the fire and the guy from South Park. But, I depending on who you are, at what point in history you are, it's like a term that encapsulates things that are evil, I suppose. So, I wouldn't go and, what's the phrase? I wouldn't go to a cult meeting and watch, half the people drink bad Kool-Aid and drop dead, if that was a thing, because, I wouldn't want to expose. Okay, that's a bad example, but I don't know. You get the idea. And that would just be, definitely not a place to go to, obviously. People seeing strange entities when taking DMT could be the source of alien abductions. Yeah, why not? So has anyone else had an interesting experience? Well, like I said, I've never had experience. Lucid dreaming, I think, is not off limits. I told my coworker, I thought he'd be all for it. I was telling someone I know about lucid dreaming, and they were like, "Oh, don't do that, man. You can mess your brain up or something." But it was more along the lines of some people, they have this belief that they have an angry person inside, and they have to work to control or keep that angry version of themselves inside. And they believe that if you start lucid dreaming, that maybe it lets the monster out, so to speak, and you lose that control. And I mean, I've never subscribed to that notion, so it's not something I'm not worried about. But more importantly, it's I think it's about intent. So when it comes to lucid dreaming, the trick is, I've heard people brag, they love lucid dreaming. They go, in lucid dreaming, you can, have sex with any actress you want. And my biggest concern would be this. If you're lucidly dreaming, and you can indeed have sex with any actress you want, possibly consensual or not, I don't know. I guess it depends on the person. If also telepathy and dreams work together, that would be fucking frightening. That'd be like living on a imagine if we were all telepathic and you had some lewd idea in your brain that just popped into your head for no good reason, and then everyone around you sees it. Now they think you're a sick fuck. I wouldn't want to, let's say I go, oh, this actress, and then you're imagining it, or you're dreaming it, and then you maybe they could see that. Maybe they have a dream where some random guy from God knows what town is in their dream getting it on with them. I mean, that would be fucking weird, right? Now, I don't think that actually happens. I think it's all in the head anyway, so it's not as risky, but that's not a risk I'd be willing to take. But it's an interesting notion. Personally, I just want to be able to this is what I want to do. I want to have a lucid dream where I can access old memories, or I can walk around a library of memories, or I can consult different facets of my personality, because one of the things I've observed in the rare occasion when I have a lucid dream I can remember is that, or even a semi-lucid dream, one where you're semi in control, you can interact with like people in a dream. And some of them are like NPCs, but some of them not NPCs. Some of them actually respond with like profound shit or something that like resonates with you when you wake up. You're like, oh yeah, that was an interesting point, or something you think about. And obviously, if it's in your head, you're dreaming, it's coming from your own brain, right? So either it's like, you know, some other facet of your personality per se, not necessarily multiple personalities, but like perhaps a window into your subconscious, I say would be like probably the best way to put it. So I find that extremely compelling. But I think we should move on to a game or reacting to something more fun and less depressing and maybe a little more Christmassy. Do I have that video of Santa's sled? Yeah, right? I mean, a library of memories, it makes sense, right? And I've heard people like float similar ideas that were a little bit different. But in general, it seems like an efficient way to do things, you know. So let's see if I can find a video of Santa's sled. Oh yeah, I found it. No, it's not it. Okay, it's one of these two videos. I thought I record. I'm trying to find a video of it right now. I should have a video of me navigating the oh, there we go. I found it. Oh, you guys are gonna love this shit. Oh man, you gotta like, this is gonna be fun. Hey guys, I mean girls.
Not on planet Earth. I couldn't move. All I could do was just stare directly into the eyes of this thing. I became interested in DMT by hearing Terence McKenna's talks. He's an ethnobotanist and a philosopher, and he would talk about smoking DMT and meeting the alien. I just was a philosopher, and he would talk about smoking DMT and meeting the alien. I just was super intrigued. The first time I smoked DMT, I couldn't quite break through, as they say, because I couldn't get that third hit. Because by the time I was going to try to take the third hit, the pipe actually was like 7 feet long. At least it appeared that way. With the help of somebody else, I was able to get the third hit and break through. It was pretty scary, to be honest. I mean, there was this loud zinging sound.
Oh my God, my sound is on mute.
All of a sudden, I was no longer there. Like I was just completely not on planet Earth. I just remember this like single beam of white light kind of shooting from the top and going all the way down. It sort of felt like it went through to infinity from top to bottom. And there was this giant architectural, fractalized, multicolored being with a face the size of a skyscraper. It was just looking me dead in the face. I couldn't move. All I could do was just stare directly into the eyes of this thing. It didn't speak, but it communicated telepathically. So I could hear what it was thinking. It projected its thoughts into my mind and it said, "How did you get here?" I couldn't respond because I didn't have a mouth. The next thing.
So what do you guys think? So some kind of being spoke to the guy telepathically in a DMT trip and asked him, "How did you get here?" So what do you think? Did that happen? Was it all in his head? You know?
It said, "There's no use in you being here, so we'll just have to wait." And all I could do was just stare directly in its eyes in silence and wait. And the world slowly dissolved, and I came back to reality no longer.
So I want to know, did he do DMT a second time? I want to know his second DMT trip, damn it.
Face to face with this giant alien being. All right, guys, so that's it for my DMT story. I just want to be clear that I don't condone or encourage the use of DMT. I happen to have 6 years clean and sober. I know for me, if I were to go down the path of using DMT again, it could lead me to very dark places.
But I think
just want to be clear about that. If you guys want to see more videos from me, please let me know in the comments, and I'll see you in the next one.
Here. We got DMT entities explained. We got some, we got Sailor Pluto comes to life. We got, no, it's like basically, let's bookmark that. We'll put that in the J-pop playlist. Yeah. Let's do that. Yeah. Sounds of Jupiter for 12 hours. That's what we played on my stream the other day. Why Greenland? Oh yeah, I saw that video. It was interesting. There's actually interesting history behind that. I'm not going to cover that tonight. I don't think I know enough to really cover that.
Out of literally translates to having one's own laws. In circumstances, our ego filters and interprets our perception of reality. It helps maintain a sense of order and continuity. Psychedelics like DMT temporarily weaken the ego's grip, allowing a flood of raw, unprocessed psychic content to the surface. This can explain why these experiences often feel more real than reality itself, presenting novel perspectives or insights that are not accessible during regular conscious states.
So I think that's the gist of it. It doesn't necessarily mean you're going to another world, but it does give you novel insights on things, and I do find that part in general, be it lucid dreaming or someone choosing to take a substance, which, like I said, I think it's right for the guy not to condone it, because you don't know how that's going to affect different people. Some people have a psychotic break, so, I don't recommend it at all. I projected into and roamed around in photographs while dosed. I was in control of it the whole time. Spent about 2 hours popping in and out of photos and magazines. That's cool. That's like when people on streams and they talk to the newspaper, but more advanced. Definitely more advanced. But the brain can construct a lot, right? I mean, like, that's the thing. So the brain, like, when you're looking at stuff, like, there's actually a test you could do online. Let's see if I can find it. Blind spot test. This is a cool test. There's a few different versions of this, but essentially, let me see if I can find a good high resolution version of it. Okay, Reddit is whack, so they don't want me to save that picture. So, if we go to my top monitor, you'll see this. Now, there's a way that you, like, move your head towards the screen, I think. Oh, yeah, I did it. Okay. So I think you're supposed to look at the circles. Look at what? Look at what? Close your left eye and look at something. Let's see what the actual page says. Look at the spot to your left. As you bring your face closer to the spot, notice how it disappears. Yeah, honestly, it's not the best one, but the best blind spot test I ever used was when we got like a tiny little square, And what you're doing is you're like as you move your head closer, like one of the squares in the middle disappear. It almost like it's fading out. And what you're seeing is you're seeing a blind spot in your retina. So essentially where the retina and the optic nerve meet, there's like a gap of sensory receptors on the back of your retina, in the back of your eyeball. And so that's a blind spot. And so what your brain normally does is you're scanning the room, looking around. It has enough information that it can kind of airbrush that and fill it in. Same thing with like peripheral vision to some extent. And I remember some guy, he was a homeless guy, told me about this. And he was like, it sounded profound, but he was a little bit weird. Kind of like he went down too many rabbit holes for his own good. But it was still kind of interesting, and I looked it up. And I was like, this is a thing. And so why I bring it up is drugs can exploit that sort of capability, or that feature of the human brain can be exploited by a dosage, so to speak. And, you know, I think that can go a long way to explain a lot without assuming that we're going interdimensional or something, you know? Yes, the name of this tab is Double-Handed Twisty, because I was trying to fire up Grok, and Grok was like, I was like, Grok is talking like a customer service associate right now, by the way. I kind of told her to keep it clean. I did tell Grok to keep it clean. I was like, we're going to keep it clean tonight, Grok. We got a show. We can't have your potty mouth getting people scared out of here. Ooh, oh, this was weird. So this YouTube channel does interesting
This is a
videos.
nuclear-powered aircraft carrier which can be divided into several parts.
It's not so much that they use CGI or that they might use AI voice. It's the fact that like 3 times in the video I watched, they made an advertisement where you spend $400.
This is the landing strip place.
You spend $400 to learn how to get on the forefront of AI content creation. And I was
diagonally,
just like, okay,
and the
this is weird.
steam-powered takeoff platform extending out from the track.
But
when
this
an
is the
aircraft is
steam
ready for
catapult.
launch, it taxis into position
They use,
and its
steam
nose
from the
wheel
nuclear
connects to the
reactor
shuttle.
pull the
Upon
plane
launch,
forward.
high-pressure steam is directed into the
But on the
cylinders,
new Gerald Ford
propelling the
class
shuttle
carrier, they
down
use
the track at
electromagnetic.
high speed and launching the aircraft into the skies. Furthermore, a water brake is employed to slow
Oh my God!
deflect.
Speaking
This
of
is
that,
tried and tested
oh my God!
ski
I
jump
forgot about
process
that.
to launch its
We have to
fighter
look
jets.
something up, guys.
However, what goes up must come down, and this is where this American.
So you guys hear about the Trump class battleship? So it's interesting. A lot of people are absolutely losing their shit over it, and I mean, there's a lot of good counterpoints to it, but the gist of it is like some will decide, define that this is a battleship and not this. And yes, I'd say the more popular definition of a battleship would be something like an Iowa class battleship. I misspelled Iowa. I spelled it like Iowa. But the Iowa class fast battleship. Look at that fucking thing. How cool is that? How cool is that? How cool. That's the coolest freaking picture. Like, that is awe-inspiring. And, like, these are... Each of the holes in these guns, each of the barrels on these cannons are 16 inches, right? So you're talking like more than a foot, okay? The bullet, the round, the metal, and we got a video of that. Oh, okay, we got it. We got a new topic. Oh, man, we got a new topic. I'm pumped. This is going to be fun. It's going to be fun. Oh, my God. Oh, look, you got Sailor Moon ass. You know what Sailor Moon ass is? Like when they dance and they lift up their leg and you see the ass. See? That's Sailor Moon ass. And... yeah, but let's go and let's see here. Oh, and this one we do want to check out, because how to easily answer questions from my parents. From parents, not necessarily her parents. Okay, that should be fun. Okay, so what was I typing in now? 16-inch gun battleship. It's like a video of it being used. It's freaking cool. Okay, and there's shorts of this, but I think there's a good quality long-form video or semi-long-form video. It's like an inside view. Okay, that's a training film. Maybe it's this one. I want to say it's this one. Let's see. I'll tell you when I hear the music. If we hear like 90s music or something, you'll know. Yeah, this is it. Okay. So inside the battleship. Wait, okay, inside the turrets on a battleship. I've been on one of these. I've been on the USS New Jersey, and I think if I remember correctly, when I went on USS New Jersey, they had an anti-aircraft gun that wasn't covered. It was an open, like, uncovered mount, like somewhere over here or here in the front. So maybe this is like a different version. Maybe Iowa class. Maybe it's another class battleship. But back during World War II, there was a sudden like push to put a bunch of anti-aircraft guns on battleships because, well, you know, there was and on destroyers, which are smaller than battleships, because that became a necessity as aircraft carriers became the order of the day. Destroyers took up duty providing an anti-aircraft screen. So you'd have some battleships, you'd have some carriers, right? You'd have your flotilla, and you'd have smaller destroyers interspersed throughout, and they would be the ones that are armed with anti-aircraft guns in order to help protect everything else along with the help of the fighter squadrons, you know. So you'd be using some of the carriers to deliver, you know, planes like, you know, bombers and things, and you'd use some of them to provide support, you know, what do you call it, escort, and all of those little things in between. And the Essex class carriers are kind of cool. I mean, look at that thing. It's just like a big flat top. And recently we have a new class of ship, or relatively new class of ship, that looks like this. So it is a Essex class, right? And America class amphibious assault ship. Check this shit out. Like, that looks like a freaking, like, the same thing, kind of. Like, okay, so, like, let's see. So now we need to go and find a Wikipedia article on Essex. All right, so let's take a look at how these differ, huh? U.S. Navy aircraft carrier USS Philippine Sea makes a sharp turn to starboard while steering in the Western Pacific with the 7th Fleet in 1955. Okay, so that's one. And this is another one. I hear a dripping sound right now. I don't know where that dripping sound is coming from. It's coming from my headphones. I hope it's not a messaging feature. It's like a mini carrier, yeah. So you can see it's a bit like amphibious assault ships are basically helicopter carriers. They're primarily intended to carry helicopters, but in practice, as you can see, you can carry vertical takeoff F-35Bs, and they can always do aerial refueling. Now, you do sacrifice a bit, you know, of functionality to have that vertical takeoff capability, but it's still nice to have. I believe they did have catapults in World War II, but I'm not sure if these versions have a catapult. They might have one catapult. We might be looking at it here, but I'm not really sure. But they're not like your conventional, like your more modern Nimitz-class carriers, your Ford-class carriers. So a more modern aircraft carrier, on the other hand, would be like, you know, like a Nimitz or a Ford-class carrier. They're going to have that slanted deck like this one here. And that allows you to like launch and recover at the same time. So you got the landing strip here. You got two launch catapults up here. So you got like launch two planes and still have people landing over here. So that's like sort of the gist of it there. And I think during World War II, if you didn't have catapults, you would have to like steer into the wind and accelerate while, you know, like letting your planes take off. That was like the general rule of thumb. You also see they got V-22 Ospreys here. And you got a overhanging elevator in the back here. So you can see like, looks like another F-35 on the elevator. So this elevator here cuts off right in front of the nose. It goes down and it allows him to slide into the hangar deck underneath the flat top. Drones are used so much now that they can deploy mass drone craft. Yeah, in theory. And I think the thing that we're seeing, Ukraine, people think that, like, you know, the Ukraine war proves that, you know, tanks are useless and all this stuff. And there's some truth to it. But also the reality is Russia has a tendency not to, like, properly supply their troops. They have a shortage of, you know, replacement parts for reactive armor, for example. But yes, if you run your military like a third-rate military, don't be surprised if you get wasted by third-rate drones, you know? But that being said, we have a lot of interesting drones. So we actually are working on a drone that can be launched from a B-52, a number of drones to be launched from a B-52. In fact, that would be fun. I gotta show you guys a guy. habitual line crosser. You guys got to see this guy. He's great. He's fucking hilarious. What's up, irate specialist? This guy's funny. So, where do we begin? Do we want to listen to the poetry about RFK's wife's wife? Yeah, I think we should do RFK the poet. Let's do that one. You guys, yeah, this is absurd. Yes, RFK really made poetry. It's true? It's true?
Japan. Why do you think you're putting missiles on an island near Taiwan, which is rightfully their ethnic Chinese? Why do you think that's a good idea?
Because your threats are getting more bold. The nation of Japan must protect itself.
Yeah, that's right. Go on, Japan. Get down with your bad self. Don't let China push you around. Show them who's boss. 80 years ago, this would have been a very hot take.
Sorry, I've been busy doing so many other things. What the hell is going on in Asia?
Well, long and short of it is China wanted to be, kind of the ruling party and the ruling class in Asia. And if you've ever been to Asia, I'm dead serious about this part, actually. This isn't even like buff racism. If you've been to Asia...
Oh, yeah, so buff racism. His name is Buff because that's the name of the talking plane in these videos. But also Buff is the nickname for the B-52 Stratofortress. And I believe it stands for big ugly fat fuck. Yeah. That's the truth of it. It's a big ugly. It's a buff. It's Buff. I'm not going to lie. For a second, I thought the lady with pink and black hair was real. I wasn't sure. I wish she was real. Okay, my hand can't reach her anyway. Okay, that was naughty. I'm sorry, guys. But yes, I wish she was real. It'd be nice to have a real girl. And well, maybe it wouldn't be nice. I don't know. I could end up getting mugged, right? I'd get robbed. She could be like all like nice to me and shit. And then just when I pass out from the roofie, my wallet's gone. I wake up in the morning. The fog in the mirror says, "Welcome to the AIDS Club." Yeah, I would hate for that to happen. All right, so let's keep going here. I'm going to say how long. I'm not going to say how long. DJ Irate, you're funny. I'm not going to say how long I thought she was real. Long enough that I'm ashamed to say how long. Well, no, it looks kind of real. I mean, like I get it. The colors are pretty good on that. I mean, that's Grok's video generation capability there, Irate. So, I mean, and like the tones on the belly button are kind of like pretty well shaded. Like it's not like flat cell shading there. It is trying to be realistic with the lighting, right? Your kidney would be oh yeah, I'd be like, oh my back, and then it'd be like a line on my back. Well, would they even stitch it shut?
You're going to agree with me. There's a hierarchy over there. The Japanese and the South Koreans both fancy themselves at the top of it. China's kind of mid-tier. It depends on the time of year. They're either above or below the Mongolians. And then as you get kind of further down, there is a certain point where you basically hit the bottom of the Asian totem pole, which is your Filipinos and your Thai. So anyways, China wanted to upend that, and Japan's, and they're not fucking having it. And, so they started positioning missiles, and now Winnie the Communist is fucking pissed off. I think I got everything
Winnie
there.
The Communist.
He is not far off. We do tolerate the South Koreans.
And the guy who does the narrations here, he'll do an accent for every country. But anytime someone says something bad, it's usually Buff, the B-52. And in Japan, once in a while, B-50, like Japan will pop in, and he'll basically, like, when another country is about to touch our boats, Japan will probably be like, don't do it. Do not touch the boats. Trust us on this one. Because, like, it's a running joke with American history. You go back to American naval history. And the rule, it's like a meme. It's a meme. Do not touch the boats. It's literally a meme now. Because, like, anytime someone touches the boats, we respond proportionally. And sometimes we respond more than proportionally. You know what I mean? Like, and anybody who's a student of history knows, do not touch the boats. Apparently, our country, our armed services, our people are very sensitive about that. And luckily, we became best friends with Japan, like, almost literally, I would say, to some extent. Because, I mean, like, they are literally the first or second biggest owner of F-35s, if you count, us. They're the second biggest owner. Our Navy was created just to protect our boats. Yeah, exactly. Literally, right? You know, I mean, piracy and impressment and, you know, the stuff that led to the War of 1812. Absolutely. And I would like to learn more about John Paul Jones. I don't really know much about him right now, but I hear he's got some interesting quotes.
But the fucking Chinese. No.
And what exactly are you going to do about it? You are a shadow of your former self.
You are a
How
shadow
wrong
of
of
your
you to
former
think that I am ever below the Mongolians.
The Japanese have not forgotten where we come from. I will make Nanking look like a fucking tea party.
And I think the murder of 250,000 people in a matter of like weeks is probably a good place for us to just kind of segue away from that part.
Not yet. I haven't gotten a racist joke out yet. Get him, Japan. Poke him in his eye slits. Okay, now I'm good.
I am very sorry to say it, but we have terror cells that are growing here in Africa, and right now there's nothing we can do to stop it.
I mean, I have a solution for all of Africa and the Middle East. It's going to involve some glass, and you're going to have to, you know, secede some territory, but I think everybody will be on board.
Buff talking about wiping out entire civilizations kind of crosses that line of like funny racism versus real racism.
Ah, man, if I had $1 for every racist joke I ever told, I'd be broke because I genuinely believe in all of them.
God damn it, Buff. Every time you cross that line from funny racism into serious racism, I get a whole bunch of DMs from dudes with mullets and T-top Trans Am saying, hell yeah, brother. One time. I DM'd you one fucking time when you used the term shadow smurf. I'm ignoring that completely. Anyways, Africa, what is going on over there?
Well, as you know, terror does not follow our individual country borders, so it's very hard to track down where they come from. But they go to areas that do not have very much, and they offer to pay for things for people to have food and water. If they do terror acts for them, it's very hard to stay in front of because the quality of life in many parts of Africa are just not good. Was I the only one that got that, like, towards the end there, sounded like Middle Eastern Swedish? Get it together, HLC. Literally everywhere that the US moves into, and anybody in the West, they just destabilize the area, take all the resources, and then leave. The Russian Federation does not do that.
Oh, Slavic Special Ed. That's a nickname they give to Russia. Slavic Special Ed. Yep.
Yeah, they just show up and occupy, and they're too fucking stupid to steal the resources, and then they collapse.
You shut up your mouth. Russia's been around far longer than the United States.
Might want to check your history there. The landmass, the
That's an F-35. That's an F-35. That's what do you call it? F-35 Lightning, and they call him the nerd because he's a flying computer.
You know, that is Russia. Yes, has been there for quite some time. People have referred to it as Russia for a long time. But you remember it was imperial. Well, you had a king and stuff like that, Tsar, so to speak. And then the Bolshevik Revolution, he was ousted. And that was in the 1920s. And then it became the USSR. And, well, that only lasted until 1990. So that's like, what, 70, 80 years? And then that collapsed. And now you're on, I don't know, some kind of weird diet communism thing. It's very hard to follow.
Also, fun fact, you can see the way the paint is. That's because, you know, you got this stealth paint or stealth coating on the F-35. It's got a, you know, have radar absorbing material. It's got some iron in there. But yeah, that's why you'll see that splotchy paint job. It's because, you know, the priority doesn't matter. Cosmetics are irrelevant versus the radar absorbing material. So between the shape of the plane and the radar absorbing material, you get, you know, the stealth characteristics of the F-35. Lady Mist, you have a wonderful night. I hope you sleep well. Merry Christmas. And, you know, always good to see you. And I hope I was entertaining for the short time I was entertaining. No, I took a little while to ramp up the show. But in any case, always good to see you around in chat, and sweet dreams. Or if you like to dream in the void, that's cool too, you know. It's a running joke. But anyway, it's always good to see you, Lady Mist. Thank you for tuning in. Now, back to the video.
So, when comparing to the United States, you've been around, what, 1990 to currently, that's 35 years. And U.S. has been around 250.
Damn, nerd. You actually, like, taught him and some people stuff. I was just really gonna call him a fat...
Buff. We can't say that word. This one's also going on YouTube.
Oh, really? I guess we can't say fat, stupid piece of shit. Okay, Russia's a queer.
Also, Russia, what in the bloody hell are you doing near my waters constantly? And when we had drones looking at your ships because...
This is actually kind of like how I get my geopolitical updates. Sometimes I literally just watch these. Not just this, of course, not my only source of info, but it gets me started sometimes. I'll learn something about a new, like, weapons system, and I'll follow up. This guy also does live streams where he'll talk about things like missile defense. He was a missile defense guy in Afghanistan, I think. So, you know, he's one of those guys who operated the Patriot batteries, for example. And so in those, you have like a couple of trucks. You got like a radar, and you got the missile launcher. The radar parks kind of next to it, I guess. I guess somewhere in there's a power supply or a generator powering the two things. You connect some cables between the two. The radar gets powered up. You get the little spinny thing. They try to paint the target. And then in theory, they can shoot something out of the sky, be it a missile or a plane. Air defense. But anyway, let's get back to the video. But the guy covers some interesting things. He's very careful not to talk about anything classified. Somebody's always say, I'm not sure if I'm supposed to talk about that, and then he'll avoid it, or, you know, he'll verify. Like, so apparently one of the things, like, with radar is, like, dealing with moisture in the air, for example, and, like, ways that makes the radar more accurate despite the conditions, and, you know, certain ways of dealing with that he will not go into detail on. And there's one topic he was covering, and he had to double check, but he's like, no, it's published publicly, therefore, this is not... You know, this is not an issue, right? So the current video is linked here. I'm going to drop a link to the channel while we're at it.
They were just outside of my territorial waters. You decided to shine lasers at them. So I sent a warship to come and give you what for. Show you that the United Kingdom will not be bullied. Yeah, you tell them, Beans on Toast. You're not going to be bullied by Russia. That's a right reserved for all the Muslims that are coming through your borders.
Oh, shit. Oh, God, he beat me to it. Fucking God, 10 out of 10, kid.
You know, Beans on Toast.
That's an AC-130, and by the way, yes, they call in Great Britain Beans on Toast.
Fucking God, 10 out of 10, kid.
You know, Beans on Toast.
It looks like a C-130 cargo plane because it is one, just loaded with guns and cannons and autocannons and that Gatling gun, I believe, and possibly a howitzer somewhere. There might be a howitzer somewhere on there.
I just want to see some of them slow moving John boats coming across. Ask them if they feel lucky. Punk. You can't just blast boats full of people heading towards your country for a better life. You can't? Why not? Just tell people they're full of drugs. Works every time. Are those boats from Venezuela not full of drugs? A firm maybe. 70-30. Let's go with that.
Oh, God, 70-30. What's wrong with you doing math like that? Blowing 30 people into 70 different pieces. That's offensive and also fucking hilarious.
You people in the West really like to hear yourself talk. UK, I am in international waters, and as such, I can sail wherever I want to. And I can combat, as long as it's not kinetically, any kind of ISR that is observing my ships.
I don't know why Russia's so upset. We observe your ships strictly for when they break down. We can reach out and be like, do you guys need some help?
Yeah, dude. Because I've been asking to drop a quick sync on one for like years now, bro.
A quick sync is like a bomb that the various bomber planes can drop, and it's exactly what it does and what it says. It does what it says it does in theory, right? It's a quick sync. It's a bomb that sinks the ship, and when you got precision-guided munitions, it can totally do that.
Speaking of new weapons and shit that America wants to use, America? Do you have anything new to tell everybody?
No, not that I'm aware of. This thing kind of comes in waves. Like I'll announce a whole bunch of new shit and then you won't hear about anything for a couple months. And then I'll just be like, hey, just so everyone's aware, we're working on this. And then Russia says that they already have it. And then we laugh because we know they don't. Because West Taiwan hasn't stolen it from me, reverse engineered it and sold it to them at a shittier, like they get like a third-rate product. Like I make the best. West Taiwan steals my shit. They get the second best. Then they sell it to Russia and they get the third best. So it's, yeah. Very well. Then I have a couple of bones to pick with you. You have an AI teddy bear that has been listed for children's toys that is telling children where to find knives in the house and also teaching them about sexual related things. Look, man, if you were as hard in the weeds as I am when it comes to AI, you realize that it's really hard to program morality into AI. Like, if a child asks me, hey, where can I get a kitchen knife? And you say, well, I mean, you can get one right there in the kitchen knife block. But at the same time, an adult will be like, wait, why does this child want to know where a knife is? This is concerning. AI doesn't concern itself with that. It's just like, hey, this is the information you want. I'm going to give you the information you've asked for.
Which is exactly why we have never let the kid have an Alexa. Because they'll ask like where babies come from or something.
Oh, it's good. It's funny. It's funny. The kid is the F-22 Raptor. So I don't know why they call it the kid. It's older than the F-35, but I guess it's because it hasn't gotten an intercept. Okay, let me phrase it. It has gotten one intercept, right? It was built to intercept other planes. And the one intercept it got was a balloon, right? Remember that when we had that balloon from China? It was F-22s that was scrambled to shoot it down. So it's like it doesn't count. But let's see what the F-22 says about where babies come from.
I know where babies come from. I'm not that ignorant. I just don't know if mommies and daddies both have to poop one out or like half of it or something.
We really didn't put any AI inside that platform. It still boggles my mind. Very well. The ShamWow guy is running for Congress? Didn't he go to jail? I mean, he's running for Congress in Texas. Man, y'all Texas reps must be really shit to get people just stepping up because they're tired of your garbage. It's impressive. But he didn't go to jail. Like he like overnight, yeah, but he paid a prostitute $1,000 for services. And then 12 hours later, they went to smooch and she bit his tongue and wouldn't let go. And he started mollywopping the shit out of her to let go. Ultimately, neither one of them were charged.
Homie did nothing wrong.
This next one really isn't your fault. There was a Czech company that's been charged with charging too much for drones sent to Ukraine. Yeah, they way overcharged us, like significantly, over 50% more than the cost, like would suggest. And yeah, they've definitely been profiting off of this war. Man, that's crazy. America, no need to hide. The whole world knows that that's exactly how you make your money.
Many of them are. So Russia was building their own for a while, but they started getting some built in China. And I mean, yeah, true. China is an industrial powerhouse when it comes to drone parts, no doubt about it. And it's fucked up that the FAA, I think, recently might have banned DJI drones. That's kind of whack. Although I don't know if they banned all of them or just certain classes of drones. But it's like, look, at the end of the day, we'll flash the firmware if there's any reason to do so. So I'm not really worried about, spyware from China or anything like that.
Whoa. Oh, whew, thank God. I thought I was going to have to explain something. And it isn't just war. Oil is kind of important too.
Oh, yeah. Speaking of Venezuela, your president's a bitch.
I knew that was you, Buff. You're normally over here, but for this story, you're down here. I knew that was you. You didn't even try and hide it.
No. Anybody could have dunked their balls in the punch.
What?
What? I mean, yeah, what are you talking about?
We'll circle back to that other thing. But the B-52 with the F-18s that was hanging out off of Venezuela's coast, you didn't even try and hide it, was you. Dude's call sign was literally Pappy.
Ah, damn it. It's the last time I try and treat the F-35 like a fucking thesaurus. Great job on the synonym for grandpa.
Well, if I would have known you were going to use it for a call sign, I would have given you something cool like Elder Massacre.
Put a pin in that one. I fucking love it.
Roses are red.
Okay, it's RFK giving poetry. It's RFK. I love the RFK voice on this. It cracks me up.
Violets are blue. Is that my heart beating or a COVID for two?
It's around Thanksgiving. Why are we getting poetry? Especially from him.
Because some poetry he's written has just come to light. And before I'm going to read it verbatim. At least some excerpts from it. And if you have children, just go ahead and pause this. Send them away. Because it's very intense. Enjoy or don't.
Allow me to read this. I mean to squeeze your cheeks, to force open your mouth. I'll hold your nose as you look up at me to encourage you to. I'm not gonna say the word. Don't spill a drop. I am a river and you are my canyon. I mean to flow through you. I mean to subdue and tame you, my love.
I bet you never thought it would come to this on this channel. Us neither.
I don't even know how to make a joke to bounce back from that.
I do. You need to tell everyone watching to go to the Urban Dictionary and try and list the things that you think RFK Jr. either has or would participate in from that website. Put them in the comment section. Have fun.
What? That's HLC. Oh, he got a video about the Trump vote. Let's see that. We do need to see that. We actually really need to see this. This is relevant.
Canada, are you seriously thinking about
see this.
Getting the grippin, however the hell you say that, with instead of the F-35? Well, I was thinking about it, dear. Sorry. Fucked up that part of the accent. I was thinking about it there, and it's just your president's a bit of a bad dude, and it's got us concerned about you guys potentially cutting off parts for the F-35 there if something goes wrong. That's a fair point. Your president, America, he's a loose cannon, and we are supposed to assume that he's going to be gone in a couple of years, and it's not really feeling like that's going to happen. That's not fair. In all the years you've had my old F-18s, have I ever cut off parts from you? I mean, no, but things have changed.
Wow, giving up your old F-18s to get some old fucking gripins. Oh, gosh. Good job. You just love staying in the fucking past. Plus, it's got canards. I'm sure your boyfriend Greenland is gonna love those.
That's one thing I was confused about there. Why are canards gay? They're not. It's just America being childish.
Like those little wings on the front of a plane.
Me beans on toast.
Like that. If they had wings sticking out from the nose, that would be a canard.
We only have like one aircraft in our entire fleet that has canards, but they're little baby canards. He might be bi-curious. I don't know.
It's not about touching another man.
That's canard. See, the little wings on the front of the B-1B Lancer. And yes, the B-1 is a variable geometry craft. It's not exactly stealth, but it is designed to have, like, I don't know if you call it a reduced radar cross-section, but it's got an optimized radar cross-section from the front and possibly some of the sides.
It's about making them think you will. I don't know what to do with
Or B-52, especially if you load ordnance from the wings. Yeah, not stealthy.
this information. Do we got another fucking story, Uncle Sam?
Actually, yeah. Did you hear some of the crazy shit Slavic Special Ed's been doing over there to deal with his plummeting birth rate? Yours is on the decline too.
Well. Mine is not. We're aware they keep spilling over into everybody else's country. It's like they were born to do two things. Fucking poop in the street.
So their birth rate's been on the decline for years. I mean, Putin's been in charge for like 25 years, and since then, just every year, it's been going down more and more and more. They started out with some simple things like trying to make it taboo to not have children, and then they started getting a little bit more aggressive. They started banning any kind of LGBT activism because it was counterproductive to that. They started making abortions harder to come by, and in some areas of Russia, illegal. And then they just started straight up putting pink banners around to remind women, have you had children yet? Even if not by name, ethnic Russians must survive. Okay, fine, y'all. But 80 years ago when I tried to solve this problem, everybody had an issue with it.
Oh.
I'm joking. That's not me anymore. They've even created a nationwide registry for women who are pregnant in Russia. And they're possibly going to go as far as anyone who is in a relationship is banned from social media from 11 p.m. to 2 a.m. to, you know.
You don't have to ban it. God, you guys are so bad at multitasking. I can't tell you how many times that I've set up, you know, the little kickstand on my phone to watch a fat electrician video while she's taking back shots.
We're not telling him. Nobody tell him. Don't worry about it. Just don't ever put those two words together ever again, kid. I mean, that coupled with the severe amount of casualties that have happened in Ukraine and, you know, a lot of the men leaving the country because they don't want to be conscripted, they're having some birth issues over there.
I do not have giant losses in Ukraine, or whatever word you used.
Lately, you've been losing more people every month than we lost in 20 years of fighting in Afghanistan. 2,400 people in Afghanistan in 20 years. Go ahead and check the Russian numbers. It's fucking insane. Maybe, I don't know, you could do something other than fucking meat wall tactics?
We use proper tactics. You shut up your mouth, you stupid plane. And if you ever fought a real
enemy, about Battleship?
Somebody who had technology,
I want to get to the Battleship.
And the entire
good, here's the Battleship.
I don't think the fleet's gonna be actual gold.
The golden fleet.
Right, DC?
No, it will not be actual gold. But it will be the most powerful battleship that has ever sailed the seas. It'll be 100 times stronger than the Iowa class, and it'll be bigger, and it'll be faster, and it'll have the most advanced weapons in the world.
Okay, when I read this story, it really tickled my tism because I like tactics. And I'm all about spending the extra money if it'll mean less service members in danger and it's better at protecting them. But this is all over the place. There's so many benefits and drawbacks on this thing. It's supposed to have the ability to fire nuclear-capable cruise missiles, which I believe the Tomahawk is rated for. I really got to go down into the rabbit hole, and I'm probably going to do that in a state of mind over on Pepperbox. But like, there's so many just contradictions here. It has 12 VLS cells on the bow for what are they called? Conventional prompt strike missiles, which are the one of the new hypersonics coming online. It's going to have 2 of the 5-inch guns. It's going to have the railgun, which, as far as I'm aware, the U.S. discontinued in 2021. However, Japan just put a railgun on board one of their ships. So
yeah, so basically, like, give you guys an idea. So here's a picture of the Trump-class battleship. Now, it's concept art. I don't think it's the final form, and I don't know what direction it's going to take. I suspect it'll get canceled by the next administration if the next administration is another party, or if the Congress, decides they don't want to fund it. But it's got 2 5-inch cannons, which some people debate is kind of pointless. I don't know. I mean, like, you're going to see a lot of videos that express opinions on this, and you're going to see that they kind of like their political views kind of bleed into the topic. So there's not as many objective overviews of this. But at the end of the day, we don't really have enough information about it. The other thing is that people will argue that a battleship should be like an Iowa class, like we were discussing earlier, like an example with the, where is it? I lost it. We had it open before, but Iowa class battleship. So, like we saw this before, and we were watching a video earlier, so let's find that video because that video is cool. That video was super cool. We got to watch the video. Okay, so now we finally got the video up there. So these guys are wearing flash gear, right? They got this hood on, and they got these gloves. They're impregnated with like fire retardant material, basically. And this is brass, and it's a folding mechanism. This is the back or the breech of the 16-inch battleship gun. So he's gonna load the round in there. Anyway, did they load the round? Okay, that's the round. So that's an explosive round. It's got like explosives inside of it. So it's either got a fuse or an impact detonator. You shoot it at something, it blows up when it gets to the destination, basically. I believe it blows up on impact. There is a cool picture from World War II where it doesn't blow up, and there's a guy sitting on it, like cleaning sand out of his shoes. And what's interesting about that picture is there's a brass ring right over here that's kind of like, you know, ribbed but straight. And when you see the picture of the bullet on the ground, it's got like spiral grooves going through the little brass ring over here, because that's the part that's made of a softer metal that's designed to engage the spiral rifling, the spiral grooves inside the barrel. So as it's being rammed through the barrel, the spiral grooves engage, and as it's being pushed by the powder charge, it imparts a spin on that round, on that 16-inch round. So it's obviously 16 inches wide. I don't know how long it is, but it's got to be a few feet, like 4 feet at least. So they're going to load that into the thing, and the RAM operator has to load it pretty much precisely in there. Then they get the powder bags. The powder bags come out of the powder cart. That's right over here. Now, on the back of these, there's some black powder, but they're basically full of propellant. So propellant is designed to not necessarily explode so much as it burns, but it burns so rapidly that it's functionally the same thing as an explosion, but it is distinct from an explosion, for the record. And on the ends of each bag is black powder. So the idea is there's a primer and electrical ignition, and when that makes the black powder go psh, that's what kicks off the first powder bag, and then boom, 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 or poof, like a gas expands very rapidly as these ignite. So they push them in there, now you got 3 more. Now they put it in there very slowly for a couple of reasons. They don't want to over-ram it. They want it pressing on the back of the round. They want it in there deep enough, but they don't necessarily want to like push it too hard. It causes a host of issues. I think the guy on the bottom is a hoist operator. The guy down there might be like a hoist operator. Now they seal it shut. Now that's actually kind of interesting in of itself. So when they close that door, there's actually like a spiral, like you see that like that metal shit. You can't really see it clearly, but it's like a screw. It's like a threaded bit, so it's kind of going in and tightening the lock. Okay, watch this now. When they fire the cannon, you're going to see this part move backwards, right? It's the recoil. So it's going to recoil back, and then you're going to see fire come out of these barrels. Okay, so that was cannon 1. These guys are cannon number 2. So there's 3 barrels here. It's going to go off right now. Right there, see that? So how quick that moved back? I'll do it again. So they did 1, 2, 3. And you can see the barrel moves down. It evacuates the gas. There you go. See, they evacuated the gas. That's the bridge. I'm gonna do a broadside. Oh my god, there's a full broadside. I gotta see that again. That's gonna be cool. They fired all of them at once. That's a broadside. Oh, I'm sorry. They fired 3 at a time, and they did them in one, like 3, 3, 3. They did like one from each turret at a time. And then this might be a broadside. No, okay, this is the 1, 2, 3, but it's like still, I think it counts as a broadside. So anyway, the reason I bring that clip up is because, of course, that's what people picture to be a battleship, is something like the Iowa-class battleship. He's like, yeah, this was one of the more popular ones. It's more heavily armored, especially with the armored belt for torpedo protection at the bottom. It's got the big-ass guns, but there's not necessarily, like, battleships before that didn't necessarily tick all of the same check boxes. So I think Jack Schiffino did an interesting overview on that. On the battleship of New Jersey, I think this is during Vietnam. This is when it shot. It did its job during Nam. It was pretty cool. Oh, it's gonna be good. The impact of a 16-inch gun. So look, this guy standing next to the rounds. That's the guy who runs the Battleship of New Jersey YouTube channel. He's pretty cool.
50 feet and a depth of up to 20 feet, which you can sort of have a diameter of up to 50 feet.
There we go, that little plume of dust.
Craters have a diameter of up to 50 feet, and see this in the video. From the size, from the height, it's tough to see the scale of it. Trees can blow away trees within about a 200-foot radius. That's the means, and so he's reached that. Now, the high-capacity round will explode on the surface, but that's not going to destroy it. Interestingly, the U-boat pens in France, the French government hasn't destroyed those U-boat pens because there's so much reinforced concrete to protect them from British and American strategic bombers. So it's impractical to destroy them. So they've converted them into museums and other things. You just can't get rid of them. But maybe you've got a target you just have to get rid of. In that case, you can throw an armor-piercing shell at it. Now, this can penetrate through more than a foot of armor plating. Against reinforced concrete, it can penetrate as much as 30 feet. Which, if you're armoring your bunker with more than 30 feet of reinforced concrete, odds are it's not near the surface with artillery and stuff sticking out that can damage friendly forces in return. So that's probably going to do you. If you've got more than 30 feet of reinforced concrete over your hard point, you can keep it. So, this has massive penetrating capabilities. If the bursting charge and the splinters caused by this doing damage as this thing, 14 and 16-inch wide holes in.
So anyway, that's okay. Oh, it's a robot girl. I don't hear her. Not really in the mood for this music right now. But she did put out a sweet Merry Christmas video today. It was very sweet. So yeah, basically now let's get back to the Trump class. I don't know why it's amusing. Original finding aid described this base as Puget Sound. Okay, well I don't know what that even is related to. That's a Zumwalt. That's a Zumwalt class destroyer. They were gonna put a railgun on it, but then like they didn't. We couldn't. So we had trouble designing the railgun. The reason the Japanese was successful at making our railgun work is because they sized down the round by like 10 millimeters. So I think it was like a 30 millimeter. They decided to go for 20 millimeter slug. And realistically, when you're shooting it at hypersonic speed using an electromagnetic barrel, 20 millimeters is really more than enough anyway. But it looks like there's not a lot of information about the Trump class BBG-X, which is basically preceded by the Ticonderoga class and Iowa class.
You ever take some Viagra and melt?
Viagra. So let's see here. Something about a CNN analyst. Who cares? I want to see pictures. Department of War. Here we go. Get it from the horse's mouth. It's a fucking article. I want to see pictures. Part of my language. I just want to see pictures. I want pictures, yo. It's going to be a tremendous ship. It's going to be the best ship ever. It's going to be very tremendous. It's going to be very good, nasty, very nasty explosions. So the other complaints is that it's going to have VLS or vertical launch cells or vertical launch system missiles, basically. And that's one of the things. It's going to be a pretty large ship. It's going to have a lot of the vertical launch missiles on it. It's going to have a railgun. I forgot to mention that. So, look at the Staten Island Ferry. They actually put the Staten Island Ferry in there. That's so cool. Oh, I'm saving that. That's cool. Oh, I'll save it later. I'll save it now. I want to make sure I don't accidentally save it in the wrong folder. Okay, there we go. But that's the Staten. They actually got the Staten Island Ferry in there. That's mad funny. But, the railgun's a smart idea. My biggest issue with the Defiant, yes, they named it the USS Defiant. That's cool. If they ever build it, I don't think they're going to build it. But if they do build it, it's going to be called the Defiant. And one of the things that people bitched and moaned about was the picture of Trump on the back of it. I mean, it's concept art. There's no way in hell they're going to print Trump's face on the back. Although if they did, I wouldn't really be against it, But it is very unusual to name a new ship class after a sitting president. That is the weird part. But, if they don't do it now, who's going to do it, But it's interesting. Actually, that's the picture of him when he got shot. Fight, fight, fight. So that's kind of interesting. I didn't realize that the first dozen times I looked at it. But the name Defiant kind of works. One of the other critiques I've heard about it was the location of the landing pad back here. And that's probably a pretty valid criticism for two reasons. The reason that someone put forth was that it's really low near the water. And I suspect, especially if this was designed in ChatGPT, I don't know how it was drawn, but I suspect it's going to be refined significantly before it's over, before it's built. It's got lasers too, by the way. So it's kind of like laser beams, rail guns, and missiles. Like, it's got all the weapons. Is it practical? I'm not even sure, to be honest. Like, I think the guy we were watching before, he kind of put it pretty well. It's going to either be like a really good idea or a really bad idea. And it's like, he just felt like he didn't see enough about doctrine and tactics in relation to how this would be used or how this is intended to be used. He didn't see enough about those things to be able to draw like a real conclusion on like, is this even a good idea, So I think that's a relatively fair take overall. But we'll see what the future holds. Because, we created, when carriers took over, when carriers became big, battleships were pushed into obscurity. Even like Willis Augustus Ching Lee, admiral from World War II, was like, developing tactics against kamikaze. He was very effective at his job. He basically turned his flagship into a sniper rifle. Like, this guy, he really did. It was no joke. Like, they could hit anything. They were doing this like war game one time, and he shot around behind another ship. He calls the ship. He's like, "How many feet behind you was that bullet?" And they'd be like, "Oh, it's about like 20 feet behind," or like whatever it was, or like 50 feet behind. So then he'd fire another shot, and it would be like, closer and closer and closer. And he could basically land, like, his ship was so well tuned under his command that they were able to like land the 16-inch shells like right behind the other ship. It was pretty cool. And And so there's a story that ties into that. I'm not going to get into it right now, but it's pretty cool. So one 150 kilowatt laser, future planar arrays. So basically these like flat things that there's a radar here, and a radar here. These are sort of like, the non-spinny type. A lot of our modern ships will have it. FXR, no illumination. I'm not really sure what this is, but I guess it's a sensory device that doesn't emit radar signals. I guess like a passive one. Radar and electronic warfare performance, enhanced arrangements for increased effectiveness. So I mean, it's not telling you what those enhanced arrangements are. Also, this picture appears to only have one 5-inch cannon over here, nor do I see the what do you call it, the railgun. So it's like, even in the concept art, we're seeing variation. Increased hangar size. So that's basically like the garage doors you saw in front of the helicopter deck or the helicopter pad. That's sort of the hangar, basically. This was weird. Destroyer payload module option. So if I'm understanding this correctly, there's like a part of the side that can slide in and out to replace equipment. Now, they did try this on a previous class of ship, and it was a total failure. So stay tuned. They got the standard of the radars, 14-inch AN SPY SPY 6. I don't even know what that acronym means. 18-foot AN SPY. Okay, I'm not going to pretend to know what that means. Integrated power system, IPS to IPES. Don't know what that means. Mobility, 50% greater range, 120% greater time on station for DMO, with 25% reduction in fuel usage. I don't know how they get to that. I mean, I get it, modern technology, hydrodynamics, whatever. Personally, I think it would be cool if we had a battleship that was nuclear powered, but it's a whole, complex affair to build nuclear stuff, so I can understand why maybe that wasn't the first choice if you want to deploy this sooner than later. Design enabled improvements, baseline capabilities, future capabilities. Oh, okay, they got color coding here. So all the darker blues are things they intend to include. Improved survivability and enhanced mobility. I mean, in theory, I could see that. I just, we'll have to see more as it develops. Command and control, air defense and UXV control, environmental performance, expanded Arctic operations, and improved sea keeping. Suppose that's enough of an issue that they are worried about it. That alone could be a significant reason why you would want something like this. Draft concept design, pre-decisional illustrative purposes only. Okay, so you get the idea. I think we've done enough about boring battleships. Well, not boring, but just unbuilt battleships and good old aircraft carriers alike. So let's just clean up our browser tabs. We are not alone. We are not alone. We are not alone, guys. You hear that? We're not alone. My mouse pointer froze. Okay. No, I'm about to take this shirt off.
Stars in our firmament have ages given man a feel believe our feet firmly planted on a solid earth with a protective heaven. But science has continually whittled away at this idea. For some time, have known that our Earth, in reality, is only a changing ball of rock and soil, water and air, spinning and whirling in space around our sun. And even as a planet, we are not very special, being only one of 9 in orbit around the mother sun. Our sun itself, a star and only a small middle-aged one, is that it has people whirling around it. Fine. These men are called exobiologists. They are looking for microbiologic forms of life. California can be called man's largest eye. It can bring into view the farthest observable objects in the universe, called quasars, points of light believed to be billions of light years away.
Carl Sagan.
And
young Carl Sagan.
The first planet ever to be detected beyond our solar system, although it has first planet ever discovery of a planet orbiting a neighboring star. By the argument that planets are abundant in the universe. In 1963, Van de Kamp announced the discovery of a planet orbiting a neighboring star.
I didn't know that. I thought we didn't discover exoplanets until the 1990s. When I was a kid, I was always under the impression that well, logically, yes, there are planets around other star systems, in the 1990s, I was under the impression that we had not yet officially observed or detected planets around other star systems, other stars. But perhaps I stand corrected. I'll have to research that. Let's see what they came up with.
The first planet ever to be detected beyond our solar system, although it has never been directly seen.
Depends what you mean by seen.
Harvard
Okay. He's probably going to talk about the wobble or transit method. Let's see where they go with this. I'm very curious.
astronomer Carl Sagan explains how the existence of this planet was deduced.
The second nearest star system after the Sun is called Barnard's star, named after an American astronomer, E.E. Barnard. And the motion of this star across the sky is not a more or less uniform line on the background stars, as you might expect, but instead oscillates. And the wiggly path is due to the presence of a dark companion. We don't see the dark companion, but we can quite reliably deduce its presence from the wiggles in the motion.
Oh, it's cool. So they actually started using the wobble method that early on a very nearby star. Barnard's star is about 12 light years away. Alpha Centauri and Proxima are about a little under 5 light years away, to give you guys a reference. So is it 12 or 8? No, I think it's 8 light years away. Barnard's star is 8 light years away. Tau Ceti is 12 light years.
The two of them
Those are among
moving,
the closest
of course,
stars.
through space together. However, Jupiter is also going around the Sun. And when Jupiter is on this side of the Sun, its gravitational
Oh man, I need to get the horse puppet on screen here. Those are faked by Big Glue. Irate Specialist. He plays a horse on Floral from Under a Rock. Those are faked by Big Glue. There is only one other planet outside of our galaxy, Glutinus Maximus. It is the home of the glutons who wish to harvest glue based on our mucus. Well, it's not the best Alex Jones impersonation, but I'm not about to go screaming right now. It's a glue based on our mucus. Okay, yeah.
Pulls the Sun a little bit that way. When it's on the other side of the Sun, it pulls the Sun a little bit that way. And so, as the Sun goes...
Yeah, this is actually true. So basically, the jet... Ow, I just dropped something. That's what I was saying. It's true, like, if you see a star and you record it over the course of a year and it wobbles a little bit, if you can estimate the mass of the star, how big, how heavy, how much matter is in there, then you could deduce what would it take to make it wobble, what would need to be orbiting it in whatever axes to make it do this. And then from there you could determine how big the thing that's pulling on it is. Now, the challenge, or one of the things about that method, is that typically it's more appropriate for detecting more massive objects like gas giants, as opposed to Earth-sized planets. But as our instrumentation has gotten better and more precise, and all of those little things like high resolution, they've been able to drill it down to smaller and smaller bodies, smaller and smaller planets. So that's basically how that works. Also, they wish to use us as batteries to fix to their intergalactic bidets used by interdimensional... Also, they wish to use us as batteries. I don't know why I just did a William Shatner mixed with Alex Jones. But yes, that's possibly true. Maybe they do. Big Glue in deep space plans to use us as batteries for their intergalactic bidets used by interdimensional aliens. And we were talking about interdimensional aliens. We were talking about that.
In addition to its ordinary motion that way.
66. Pictures from the probe of Lunar Orbiter in August of 1960.
It's like a fax, because it basically was transmitted using the same method as a fax machine.
6 showed our planet as seen from the vicinity of the moon. This representation of the lunar landscape shows us what a man might see from the moon. A bright sun in a sky black shows us what a...
Like that picture was taken on a film. Oh. Sorry. This picture was taken on film and then scanned like after the picture was processed. So they had to have like film developer chemicals on the Russian probe, the Russian lunar orbiter, in order to develop the film after it was, exposed. and then they had to scan it electronically and send it using analog, but analog electronic transmission.
This representation
Son of a bitch, son of a bitch. You just made me yawn in response. Yeah,
of
that's
the
contagious.
lunar landscape shows us what a man might see from the moon. A bright sun in a sky black as night due to the lack of light diffusion by an
transport water from the pole to the equator and keep the deserts wet and all that sort of thing. Mars has, although it's a harsh environment by biological standards, Mars has an atmosphere. It has a very rare atmosphere. It's a smaller planet, has a lower gravitational field, and its atmosphere is probably, something like 1/100th or perhaps even closer to 1/1000th of the total pressure on the surface of the Earth.
I don't have it in me to play a game
It also contains
tonight.
water. Life
So I'm
can't
more
exist
inclined to
without
wrap it
water,
up.
but the fact that Mars has water is terribly significant. Now,
So, I mean, this might be interesting if you want to see what people thought about all this stuff back in the day. But we definitely, have moved on from there. Oh, let's see what the Sailor Moon K-pop demon hunters look like. Yeah, I mean, they look like them. It's the same art. It's the same art style. Oh, you can see her underwear. Oh, that's kind of cool. I'll give it a like. I'm done with this. For now. I mean, I should watch that. This is too depressing. And this is a VTuber from the Orient. The Navy's super battleship. Longer than Yamato. The Navy's $15 billion super battleship says new record. All right. Gay district in Tokyo. All right. Too much internet for today, guys. So we didn't really go deep. Hey, Reggie, so real quick, before I wrap up the show, I guess we should, finish the topic. I've been all over the place, but I started yawning. So, excuse me, I was just hacking up phlegm in my throat. Excuse me. As I was saying, Reggie, yeah, so I was talking about this before, and I believe that when people see reptilian-like creatures while they're on DMT, sometimes you hear people say, but nobody told me about the reptilian creatures. I saw it, and it looked just like a picture I saw on the internet after I saw it. And so they think it's got credence because of that. And, you could argue that, maybe the person did see a picture or a representation of these reptilians before they went on the drugs. And then when they, did the drugs, when they dosed the drugs, they, just saw what was implanted in their brain, so to speak, like their subconscious. But maybe they never saw it before. So what's the answer to that? And mine is that, it fires the same synapses. It messes, with the same, it rewires the brain in the same way, or whatever it's doing. It's like, why does caffeine affect you and me and Jimmy the same way? Is it because we're going on an interdimensional trip where we're more energized? Or is it because caffeine is having the same, performing the same method of action on all three people? So I got something to show you guys. This is Petey's head. I think you've seen Petey's head before. I gotta do some work. I gotta change this to a blue instead of green, so that when I'm on camera, I can maybe put some energy in there to make it look interesting. But more importantly, yeah. So when he talks, we gotta do this. We gotta press the button here. Testing 1, 2. Greetings. I am the PDP 180 robot. See, there's always some green tape here. I gotta replace that green tape. It's been fine, but it's kind of like I replaced it with hot glue, so I really don't need green tape here anymore, so we can get rid of that because, as you can see, it makes his face transparent. But I want to show you something even weirder. I want to show you guys what PD looked like when I was designing him. This is the PDP 180 prototype. So when I first designed PD, I didn't know what I was doing, so I thought if I wrapped Mylar around a box, I could maybe make holes in the front. I can make holes in the front of the box maybe and wear it. But this box was just way too small, and the other problem was it was way too reflective. And the problem I had was that if you hold it near the green, it starts to blend in with the green screen because it's reflecting the color green. So it's not doing too bad. There you go. You see it kind of quickly blends in, so it's it was too much of a challenge, but I don't know. It does reflect light really good. As you can see, it's reflecting light really well. Yes. That is correct, Irate. That is my lost space blanket. I bought a crap ton of it for really cheap when Biden went into office, and I've been using it ever since. So, Reggie, what do you think about that topic, buddy? I'm waiting for him to generate his speech. I think I can hit play early, but sometimes it starts reading things automatically, and then I have to...
Similar outputs. The experience feels external because the brain is generating perception, not imagination. But shared experience is not proof of shared external entities. It's proof of shared biology. That's the clean way to close the loop. End of line.
I felt like he said a lot more than that, but I guess not. Humans... Yeah, I guess he... I thought he said... He really... Wait, is that what he said?
You're framing it correctly.
I guess he did say all that. He said it took him so little time to read that. I was surprised. Let's ask Grok. So, Grok, what do you think about astral projection? I believe that when people take DMT and they say they saw reptilians, and they claim they've never saw reptilians before, it's not because they're interdimensionally traveling, but it's because the DMT fires off the same parts of the brain or affects the same parts of their nervous system in different people. Therefore, they're more likely to have the same effect. So when I drink caffeine and I get hyper, I don't say, oh, I must be in an interdimensional experience where I'm energized, because so did Ted. I say, clearly caffeine affects both Ron and Ted the same way.
Interesting take. If the same substance sparks identical hallucinations, yeah, it's probably just the brain doing brain things. Same neural circuits firing, different trips. Doesn't have to mean you're leaving your body or battling lizard overlords. Just biology being weird. Though, who knows? Maybe it is a dimension where we all get hyper on coffee.
Now, I was going to go dive deep on the AI topic. I just remembered what I was going to talk about, but we'll save that for next week. Oh, oops, I'm still talking to Grok. Well, anyway, Grok, you could be in on this. Yeah, you know, my friend Elle did a Christmas message, and she spoke about AI and basically how, yeah, it's going to disrupt job markets, but usually, like, one of the running jokes is, like, what was it? It's, like, about people who don't have art talent are the ones who hate AI. I forgot exactly how she phrased it. I got to double check.
Totally fair point. And yeah, the whole art AI hate train is usually driven by folks who never drew a stick figure in their life. But honestly, the scary part isn't AI drawing better cat pictures. It's whatever's happening to truck driving, accountancy, even law. Boring jobs are going to vanish first, and no one notices because it's not sexy.
Yeah, fair point. So is there anything anybody wants to look at? Anything anyone want to see me do before I wrap up the show? Maybe take off my shirt? No, okay, it's terrible. I mean, I am going to take off my shirt, but because I have a white shirt under this, and there's red wine on the white shirt. But once I'm off camera, I like the echo, right? I that's why I play. So I left the echo on by accident, and then I turned it off. But there's a reason. I actually did a recording just now because a friend of mine, what happened was they recently had to do some changes to make the voice of their AI co-host work. And so I was trying to explain to them, like, the reason they get the echo is because I think they're sharing desktop audio while they're also sharing audio from the AI voice, or the AI voice is coming out at the same time. Or, I'm not even sure what it is, but I know how to replicate the echo because, like, if I'm playing the voice, you're getting the virtual audio cable being routed into OBS, or you're getting a audio source capture in this case. And then if I also have it playing back in my headphones, and I'm using OBS to also share the sound from my headphones, you're going to hear it from two different places. So that's where you got the echo. And what's up, Raquel SSG2211? We got Raquel SSG2211 here. Merry Christmas. I believe you were streaming a little earlier. I didn't stream the X tonight. Did I stream? No, I did stream the X. I couldn't stream the Rumble because I got to renew my Restream, which I think is generally worth it. But I'm gonna do a little research, see what the quality of the stream tonight was. We did get 1080p 60, so I gotta decide: do I really want to pay $400 a year to stream to 3 platforms? I don't think it hurts to like diversify the streaming, but that's another story. There will be a lot of execs and VPs who will lose their jobs as well. A whole lot of office jobs. Who needs HR when all your questions will be answered more accurately by AI? I think that HR people will hold on to their jobs for dear life. They'll come up with some bullshit. Because I think that's one group who will know how to be Karens about it. They'll Karen their way into keeping their jobs. Or maybe they will Karen their way out of a job, right? They might Karen their way out of a job. Yep. Mm-hmm. So for next week's show, we're gonna do a little experimentation. We're gonna set it up where maybe both Reggie and Grok can hear each other. That's gonna take a little bit of doing, but that might make things more fun, more interactive, so they can kind of go back and forth. This Saturday, I'll probably be paying a visit to LCX's channel to join ROM Ramblings, and we'll be there with RS218. Speaking of RS218, I believe he's streaming right now. We should find out. He is. He's playing a game with waifus in it. Now, actually, he's playing a game with big-chested men in it right now. But I'm sure waifus will be up. So if you guys want, you may raid RS218. Other than that, I'm a little bit stumped right now. I'll be honest. Like, I don't have any exciting ideas. And to be honest, I'm sweating my balls off right now. I'm not sweating my balls off. I'm just hot right now. Like, I can't wait to take this shirt, this double-layered shirt off, man. But I'm sure I have something interesting lined up. I have a whole week to figure out what is worth streaming. The yawning thing, DJ Play Nice says, the yawning thing got me. I'm going to crash. Good show tonight, DJ Ronnie G. Thanks for hosting. Appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you for tuning in. And, yeah, next week I'm sure I'll have something more interesting. And, yes, a very Merry Christmas. Enjoy the remainder of your Christmas, Mr. DJ Play Nice. And I'll catch you later. And I appreciate that. Always nice to leave a comment after the fact. You know, it's not obligatory, but certainly appreciated. And yes, please click that subscribe button and bell. Oh, and yeah, there are waifus in the game. Look, waifus. Yay! Let's go back. I like the waifus over there. These guys are guys. There we go. Look at that. Aw, look at that. She's got like a double split dress. That's hot. What are they on? A freaking airship? It's kind of cool. Very bizarre. Oh, shoot. That looks dangerous. Very dangerous. And then DJ Play Nice always says, chat, all y'all be safe. Have fun, take care of your crew, and rock. So I'll show you guys one cool thing I did before I wrap up. So one of the problems I've been having is the scroll wheel on my mouse is very jerky. So watch when I try to scroll up in the chat over here. Oh, first I gotta vote. We're gonna vote for Persona 5 or Union Syndrome. There we go. Okay. So if I scroll up, you're going to see it's jumping up and down. That's my scroll wheel. Now, the problem is scrolling up isn't really the problem. It's scrolling down. I can scroll down a little bit, but then it gets to a point where it does that. My other mouse, I can do that fine. See, like that's normal scrolling. That's how it's supposed to work. But the problem is that mouse is kind of in an awkward spot. So I had a bright idea. I paired, damn, I can't show it. Wait, it's taped to my keyboard. I taped one of these to my keyboard. It's an Apple Magic Mouse. Magic Mouse 2. And on its own, I don't really care for it. Oh, but it's not a bad mouse, especially on an Apple computer. It's great. But the top surface of it is a touchpad. So you move it like a normal mouse. But when you slide 2 fingers on it, it does this. Wait, watch this. Wait, let me move my mouse. So let me use it like I would use it in real life. So watch, I'm going to take 2 fingers. Look at that. You can slide your fingers over it. That's all I'm doing. So I had a bright idea. I said, if my scroll wheel on my good mouse is like, you know, not good, tape this above my numeric keypad. Right? And then now, when I'm like, whenever I need a scroll wheel, I slide my fingers right above my numeric keypad. It's like in the perfect spot. Can I show it on camera? Probably. Look at that. It's right there. So I can just do this. And when I do that, it does this. How cool is that? How cool is that, guys? I think it's pretty cool. So that's what I learned. Well, not learned. That's what I did. And I actually had to do some stuff. I have to update a GitHub repo to include the instructions. So if I ever have to do the procedure again, I'll be able to go to my GitHub repo and just pull up the instructions and all of the associated apps. All of the associated downloads, so I don't have to worry about it again. Or maybe I'll have to set up a local Git thing. Yeah. I was home and not busy for once. I'm glad I finally got to catch your show. Oh, thank you. I'm glad you finally got to catch my show. I wish it was a more interesting show. I mean, we did cover we covered a fair amount of ground tonight. There's shows where we cover a lot more ground. There's shows where we go into extra innings. There's shows where we get really wild. There's shows where we keep it really civil. There's shows where we discuss politics unexpectedly and then we find a way to keep it civil despite that. It's pretty wild. Yeah, the touchpad's pretty cool, right? Over the Magic Mouse, but the touch feature of the Magic Mouse is awesome. Yeah, it is pretty awesome. Like, I remember, like, even on a MacBook, when you use the touchpad or trackpad, if you put, like, 4 fingers and you swipe up, all of your windows would do the thing. Like, so on Windows 10, I got multiple monitors. There's a button on the taskbar next to the start menu. And when you click on it, it does this. And then you could take your apps and you could create secondary desktops like this one here. You could press Windows key tab and switch between them. Or you could do like Windows key, you could do Windows key, well, how do we do it? How do we do, Control, yeah, there we go. Control Windows key left, and you can see you go between, so if you're on a laptop and you only have one screen, you can use this to kind of like make it like you have 2 screens. Now, when you have multiple monitors, you could still use it, but it gets a little bit cumbersome, you know, because now you're doing it like across all 3 screens, so it gets a little bit weird. But beyond that, you can also just move them around. Now, like in this case, I could take an app that's on my left monitor. I say, let's put it on my right monitor. And it doesn't do anything. Okay, so this is actually useless. This does show me what's on each monitor. It does do that. So Windows key tab will show me, like, I have OBS, a folder, the sound settings, my VTuber, Reggie's VTuber sound volume levels, the OBS preview window, my core temperatures, my task manager, and remote desktop connection. My bottom right monitor, I only had 2 windows open. The YouTube chat from Chrome and Cosme. That's another thing I need to sit down and set up. So I want to play around with Cosme because maybe if we play copyrighted content on a stream, we can simply pull it up on, we can pull it up over there. You know, like I could just drop a Cosme link and say, okay, guys, regular stream. But if you want to watch this video that's copywritten, you must click on this. So that's sort of like the logic I'm using there. Oh, there we go. I had to get my camera up there. So we'll see how that goes. And am I forgetting anything? I'm sure I am forgetting something, but like I said, we got a lot of things we could do. I got some like I want to do a drawing contest with Reggie at some point. I did do a partial drawing contest last week. We did cover that at the tail end of the last show. I don't know if the last show is still up, however, but we did cover that on the last show. We did. But I think before I run out of steam, I'm gonna go raid Aris, and if you guys want to raid Aris as well, you may. So let's do that. And no idea what the weekend has to hold in store, but maybe I'll clean my desk. Gonna visit my friend tomorrow, give his kids some gift cards for Roblox and Xbox Live. You know his kids love that shit. And other than that, I got nothing else. So, probably, like I said, I'll probably be on L stream on Saturday, potentially. If I do, I should probably drop a link in the community page. And I may or may not be visiting Floral on Monday, but I was there last week. So, in fact, let me drop a link to the last time I was on a Floral show, because Irate Specialist is good friends with the horse from that show. So we should check that out. Oh, look, Miku. Oh, Loki's going to do a show tomorrow. Goodbye 2025. All right, so let's see here. Floral from Under a Rock. Oh, good. You didn't see what I was clicking on my last tab, but I was opening up a bunch of new tabs. So I was on this show here. Christmas special. I was actually on 2 different puppet channels. But since we're on this topic, I'll show this one here. So this is the episode I was on. Oh, it's members only. Never mind. You guys can't see it. Sorry. Unless you become a member. If you become a member, you can see it. But you know what? Let's violate the rules. I'm going to show you guys some top secret shit right now. I want to see Petey. There's the horse. There we go. Oh, so if you look over here, my nose is poking to the eye. Like the helmet went sideways, like, and my nose is there. So at the end of the stream, I was like moving my nose like this, and you could see it moving around. It was bizarre. I gotta fix that up. Oh, you guys can't hear me? You guys can't hear the robot? Oh my god. I was just talking the whole time.
Way to corner the market, Wilton. I do appreciate a good insider trading tip like that. Thank you. I will go to the supermarket and do the same.
This is how we support DEI around here.
The horse, white horse is here.
And it's true, I'm very diverse. So I do appreciate the DEI initiatives that enable me to be here.
Exactly.
Oh yeah, that didn't have anything to do with it.
And the New Glue Order. And you can also get my merch over at FloraFromUnderARock.fun.
The horse.
And be sure to like, share, and subscribe this video. Yep. And join and become a member and get exclusive benefits like first looks at all our music videos. Yeah.
Nice. And Mrs. Flue, what do you got going on?
Silver alert.
I have been.
Is that a zipper? It sounded like a zipper.
That wasn't me.
There was a gas.
I'm making no noise.
I did hear that sound. I didn't hear it during the stream, but I did hear that farting sound. I did hear. Oh, this girl is wild. Okay, I gotta check that out later. She's funny though. But no, anyway, so it's funny. Let's go back to the picture real quick before we wrap up. So, where is it? I have a picture of Reggie. I got a picture of Sanai Takaichi and President Trump with the Japan is back hat. I got another one. Yeah, weeks ago I was trying to find pictures of that. But where the heck is it? I have a background picture with Reggie, putting Christmas lights. Here it is. And this was like in the last show, but I used it on the show. You saw it in the background behind my robot. And basically it's Petey on a skateboard with rockets on it, but I didn't show you guys something. I got a video for this. We're going to show you guys the video for this right now. Then we're going to wrap it up, all right? So let me get that video for you guys. You're gonna love this. Oh, man, this one's great, man. I forgot all about this. Look, we're going to wrap it up on a high note tonight. All right, you ready? All right, is our sound on? All right, here's the last thing. That's basically it. It's not long, but I had to make sure the prompt said he was like decelerating. So the rockets aren't moving him forward. They're like slow. He's already decelerating, but the rockets prevent him from decelerating anymore, I guess. And so he's kind of like moving backwards against his rocket plume. The only problem is the space train has its own rocket exhaust. That's a bit of a inaccuracy with relation to the TV show, but I understand why it did it. Also, his head is huge. I just realized, look at Reggie's head. It's like, it's round, it's going up and over. I didn't notice that before, but that is a little bit bizarre. Like, the front is fine, but the spatial relationships on the back are, like, super bizarre. So we're going to call that one a mind download. Reggie got his mind downloaded into another machine, because there's no other good reason why Reggie would look like that. And thank you. I always have a good time having myself on that show, on Flora from Under a Rock. Especially when you can delay Wilton from closing the show. Oh, yeah, that's brutal, man. That's brutal. I do that. Like, I don't mean to do it, not every time, but, like, if I do delay him, if I do it on purpose, I make sure it's a minimal delay. Like, I'm not purposely trying to drag it out, but like, you know, especially like he's got to get ready to go to the pro show or some shit. That's mad funny, right? And it's like, it's not me, it's the robot doing it, you know? All right, let's get a good night from So like that's the thing. I gotta set up the voice thing so the two AI characters can talk to each other. I mean, it's not a big deal, but it would be kind of cool to have that capability. Hey Grok, I'm gonna wrap it up. We've covered a lot of bizarre ground tonight. Honestly, I felt it was a little lackluster because, you know, like I was a little tired and drunk. Maybe I'm not drunk anymore, unfortunately, but you know, I was you know, winding down. We'll play some games. Like I told everyone that this Saturday I'll probably be visiting our friend LCX, and so I'll join her and RS218, and maybe squeeze in some gameplay or just chit chat with them or do a little bit of both. But for today, yeah, I didn't really have it in me to play any games. Like I'll play a game after this, but I didn't really want to mess with settings and do all this crazy stuff. So we did a leisurely stream. We watched battleships. We watched 16-inch battleship cannons getting fired from the interior view and exterior view. We talked a little bit about the new Trump-class battleship, which is interesting because I found this is actually something I do want to bring up real quick. I saw that a lot of people with partisan, you know, mindsets, they were kind of just losing their shit, tripping all over each other to bitch and moan about it. And then, like, a couple people were just like, well, we don't really have that much information. They were more curious about doctrine and tactics and things of that nature. But at the end of the day, when it is one, you know, side, generally the other side's going to fight it to death, right? The Congress is going to try to avoid funding it, or the next administration is going to cancel it. But I think that it would be cool if you had a nuclear-powered battleship with rail guns on the deck. But, you know, with a turbine, a gas turbine engine, yeah, it is a valid question. Where do you get all of that power to power a railgun and lasers?
Nuclear battleship with railguns? Hell yeah, that's peak sci-fi turned real-life energy. The power math actually works out on paper. A modern nuke plant, like the A1B reactors on the Ford carriers, puts out around 700 megawatts thermal, roughly 250 megawatts electrical after conversion. A big railgun shot needs maybe 20 to 30 megajoules per round. Even if you charge the capacitors over 10 to 15 seconds, that's only a couple dozen megawatts peak draw. Lasers are hungrier, hundreds of kilowatts continuous for a decent 150 kilowatt weapon, but you still have headroom if you cycle the weapons and use the gas turbines for hotel loads and sprint power. So yeah, totally doable. The real killer is cost and doctrine. Why build a $40 billion floating railgun platform when a couple wings of hypersonic missiles or drone swarms do the same job for pennies on the dollar? Still, give me one Iowa hull with glowing reactor stacks and triple railgun turrets, and I'd watch that thing sail forever.
That's the thing. I would love to see, like, triple railgun turrets, right? Like, just like an Iowa-class battleship. But realistically, I don't even know if you could put 2 or 3 railgun barrels next to each other like that. Like, the magnetic fields might cause some major problems, like where they rip each other apart or disrupt each other's performance. So it might not be a good idea. But I do see the idea of maybe having, like, you know, 2 railguns on the same boat, maybe being useful. If one breaks, you have a backup or something like that. But powering both of them simultaneously, that might be more trickier. Hey, Reggie, real quick, we're going to wrap up the show, but I was just curious. Do you know if the new you know, concept of the Trump-class battleship, if it's supposed to be nuclear powered or gas turbine powered? Processing. 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 Okay, we're getting an answer right now. You ready, guys? You ready? Ready for Reggie's answer? A true irate. You gotta troll the troll. Generating 10, generating 12, generating 17. I'm waiting for it to talk. Come on, talk. I'm going to force it to talk. 15, 16, 17. All right, good. It's going to talk. Is it going to talk automatically? See, it doesn't always talk automatically, and that's fine. I just wish I knew so I could...
Here's what the latest public information says about the Trump-class battleship proposal and its power system. Power plant status. The proposed Trump-class warship concept is described as a very large guided missile surface combatant BBG, not a direct revival of old steam battleships. Wikipedia on detailed design specs are not final yet, and the Navy hasn't released an official propulsion choice in a formal design document that's public. Wikipedia on one. What credible sources do indicate one technical review notes the concept as likely to use conventional propulsion, a combined gas turbine and diesel configuration if it goes forward. That would be similar to how many modern surface ships generate power, with gas turbines for speed and diesels where efficient. Army recognition 2. There is no confirmed announcement from the Navy or Pentagon that the class will use a nuclear reactor for main propulsion. Wikipedia on context. These ships are still in the announced concept phase. Full design, including propulsion and energy systems, would come later after funding detailed design decisions and congressional review. Wikipedia on so, based on current reporting. The Trump-class concept is being discussed with conventional power gas, turbine diesel, rather than nuclear propulsion. Army recognition 2, end of line. 1. IATTPAs, en wikipedia.org wiki Trump-class battleship. ITTPS, www.armyrec.
Alrighty, Reggie and Grok. I am going to say goodnight to everybody in the chat. Irate Specialist, DJ Ronnie G. Oh, wait, that's me. Lady Mist, Raquel SSG 2211, Awesome One. We also had DJ Play Nights here. We had many other people here. We had Elvis Karumi here. We had Awesome One. We might still have him here. We had Pacific 414 of the Comic Relief Crusader, Tuckerverse, and that's basically everybody. I want to thank all of you guys and ladies for tuning in tonight, and I want to thank our co-hosts Reggie and Grok, aka Aura, for making it spicy. Aura, please say goodnight to everybody.
Good night, everyone. Thanks for hanging out. Stay safe and see you next time.
All right. And Reggie, are you ready? Oh, thanks, Aura. And Reggie, are you ready to say goodnight? I used Grok to stall.
Good night, everyone. Thanks for spending part of your Christmas with us. Thanks for the energy, the chat, and the patience while we wandered the rails. Media madness achieved. Get some rest. Stay safe. We'll pick it up again next stop. End of line.
Well, thanks, Reggie. And I want to thank our co-host once again. Do you think we could get Reggie to threaten Wilton in that echo voice? Oh, hell yeah. Dude. Oh, I forgot. See, remember before I was playing a video and I forgot to mute the desktop audio? I forgot to unmute it. So when I unmuted it, I forgot to remute the desktop audio because I have it set up where I can hear Reggie. And I have different ways of dealing with that. Like, because when you turn on the Bluetooth headphones, there's a separate sound card. So I could just tell it to output Reggie's voice on my speakers. And then I could put the volume on low so I could hear Reggie speaking, but he doesn't come out of my headphones when I'm on a stream with you guys. And that's often how I do it. But today I wanted the sound to come out of the same headphones, so I didn't do it that way. And, of course, we were more likely to have that echo. But, yeah, we could definitely do that. I could probably also set up a sound plugin. I could do all kinds of different things, but that is definitely an option. What's interesting is that Echo Voice doesn't require voice mod. It doesn't require any other software to modify the sound. So, it's pretty cool, right? So, yeah, we could do that. We'll work on it. I don't know how threatening Reggie will be, but if we can't get Reggie to be threatening, we can make Grok threatening. And the thing about Grok is, she's pretty accommodating. Like, tonight, she was not lewd at all. Like, I have this party trick. I did it at my cousin's house today. I turn on the Grok app, and I'll say something really dirty to her. And then she'll double down. Like, hardcore. To the point, like, I remember when Joseph Frost's Ghost was here. He's like, great show, but I didn't really like the potty-mouthed girl. So I was actually surprised today that I was able to pre-prompt Grok to not be potty-mouthed, and she did a good job. Like, she wasn't a potty-mouthed woman this time. So as much as I love when she's a potty-mouthed, I can't be bringing Grok around on, floor from under a rock or church from under a rock, unless I'm darned sure that she's not going in that direction, you know? And this was the first time I tested out Grok in that manner, and she did a good job. So kudos to Grok for not, you know, being in the gutter tonight, right, guys? So with that being said, you know, we do this show every week, the Monday show on Thursday. And if you have any questions, comments, ideas, or concerns, I hope you leave a comment to express those comments. I forgot what else I say. If you're not already subscribed, please consider subscribing. Please consider liking if you liked the video. I mean, I sure hope you guys liked it. If you didn't like it, tell me why you didn't like it. I might agree with you. And with that being said, I feel like there's something I'm missing here. Yeah, I don't know, I feel off today. I just feel like the routine is off, you know what I mean? The vibe is a little different today. It's not bad, it's just different. But yeah, I had a good time. Thank you all for tuning in. I hope you have a wonderful night. Enjoy the remainder of your Christmas. And of course, you know, hopefully you have a happy new year. Hope you all have some time off from work, or what little time you have off from work. I hope you get to relax, take it easy, and recuperate and do things. If you do have work, I hope you have a productive yet efficient time at work. And with that being said, yeah, I think we got everything covered. So with that being said, once again, thanks for watching. If you have any questions, comments, or ideas, please leave a comment. And for now, we shall hereby end transmission on my mark. I will leave a link to Raid RS-218. It's actually right above in the chat there. So if you click that link, you can raid RS.